I didn't know Cat was live.
TV/Khadroth.
And open his tab.
That is what I'm doing right now.
Let's go. Ow.
Wow, what the?
Probably. Hello, everybody. Waves.
How are humans today? Chad,
Apparently,
Cat,
Mr. Cat is wearing his pants. He'll be here in about a couple more minutes. We're here to entertain. So, if you don't know what that means, Lightning Truck, he's doing everything he can because power, bye-bye. Joe's the best, you damn right it is. Got things to talk about. I'm not talking about it. Cat will be talking about it. Oh, damn, you're not. There's a lot to uncover. One topic. You count anniversary as a topic.
I already had.
one topic turns into many topics.
Hold on, chat. I'm sorry. I literally just broke my mic, so... Okay, I think I fixed it. Jesus Christ. What a series of unfortunate events. So yes, my power went out right before I was about to like get ready to go live, so that I had to wait on all the computer to redo everything. my mic is currently not wanting to stay. Ugh, the stupid fucking handle. I've got to find an arm that works, like, vertically on one of these desks. Because all of them are terrible. Okay. Sorry about that. What was I doing? I just got the tweet out right before all of that happened, so do me that favor, chat, and go give it some love. And we're going to get started here. It is still thundering and lightning, so if the stream goes down for some unexpected reason, assume that I had another power outage. I will say I will be back unless I ping otherwise. Because it may be the case of I didn't just have a power flash, my power just straight up went out. But grab today's sauce. Started here. Mike ever do to you? It did a lot, apparently. I don't know. I always have bad luck with my mic stands, and it just pisses me off. Okay, so hopefully everything is working. I make no, promises though, chat. Okay. Think everything's going well. Here is today's artwork. Do me a favor, go give that some love too. Today is apparently my Twitter birthday. 9 years really flies by, apparently. Damn, you should retweet more. So, hello, CZ. Hello, everybody. Like I said, it was just an unfortunate sequence of events. We did not get to, get everything set up properly in the way it's supposed to, so I'm sorry that we're kind of running behind. Interestingly enough, I meant to go in a node on JP, and I haven't, so therefore my AP is probably capped out. Because it was right on that edge of not quite going to, and I never got to. Not a lewd this time? That's rare for me. Oh, they're not always lewd. And thank you, Trubs. Yes, that is my go live tweet. Do me a favor and give that some love. So we did get the YouTube video out yesterday. We do have the survey that has come out on JP now, and you are required to make an account with Aniplex in order to be able to take the survey. The reward, I believe, is 4 tickets. So again, it's not like you're required to do it, but obviously that's just 4 free tickets you miss out on if you don't make an account. You can make a simple account, so you can do it in the actual FGO game, and it does count. I have seen a lot of people apparently trying to say that you need the actual more robust Aniplex account. My understanding is you do not. So at that point in time, again, you don't have to necessarily go crazy for those of you that play on JP for it. We will probably not do the survey today. I am probably going to do it with you guys Monday, because I already had plans for what we were going to do with you guys today. And that's just kind of what happens when the devs spring stuff on us unannounced like that. Thank you guys for the stream streaks. Need to resize today's art to fit the chat panel? No, it's just a tall piece. That's just how it works. I would have to cut off some of Jalter's legs, and I don't think chat wants me to do that. Oh, no, Cad has plans for us? Well, just again, we were supposed to actually go through, Shufu and all of that today. So, I did also hand the Arcuate video off to Okayist. He's going to edit out all the fuck-ups that I did yesterday. And again, it was just 2, really, were all that happened. One of them was bad, though. One of them I said multiple times throughout the video. So that one has to get, actually edited. The others, not so much. So I should be okay in that regard. Ultra's legs are one of her best features, right? I'm just trying to think if there's like anything else that I needed to like cover right here at the beginning. Privately, things are going well for the VTuber debut. I should have a surprise for you guys during that. I don't know how implemented that surprise will be, but it will be it will be there. Whether or not it is like something that I show off or something that is actually a feature of the stream will remain to be seen. Cad's gonna show knee. I mean, I could in theory. I did. I did unfortunately reveal to the members of VIP that I both have my normal model and what is referred to in the VTubing community as a nude base. That does not mean that my character is naked, chat. It's just my character without their normal outfit on. And it is done for the purposes of making additional outfits easier to be made. But yeah, that's a thing, and I do have that. So of course, immediately VIP was like, "Whoa!" So that means the CAD feet pics are real, and I'm like, "God fucking damn it, no!" Not naked, Sag? No, not naked. It's just without clothes, exactly. We're all naked under our clothes, though. Right. To clarify the difference, just imagine it's like a swimsuit model. Right? That'd be the easiest way to imagine it. You did this to yourself, Cad. Don't blame us. No, I didn't. Bob absolutely asked me the question. Bob absolutely did it to me. Straight up. It's Bob's fault. And we can blame Bob because Bob's not here right now. VIP get nudes? No, VIP does not get nudes. That VIP is not. It's not like an OnlyFans tier. Okay, like I can't stress that to you guys enough. What VIP is for the most part is just a collection of like my friends and stuff that over the years have helped out some way in shape or form in stream or gotten close to us in some other way. And it's usually just that. That's all it really is. And like, I basically just use the VIP channel to hang out in and relax when I'm either working on stream stuff off stream or just relaxing. It's a rare thing, but I do occasionally just sit there and veg out and play video games and not multitask and do multiple things at once. And you can ask them too. That like, I'm not even sure VIP themselves necessarily realize it, but like anytime I'm in there and like I might like have a video game up, I'll be streaming it. And I can't tell you how many times, and they've probably realized it, but they probably haven't realized why. But anytime that I'm in there and I'm streaming a game, if I'm just sitting there and not doing anything, it's probably because I'm doing something on another screen. Like quite literally. And this happens all the time. There's numerous times where I'm just like, all right, yeah, Cad, why aren't you doing anything? Oh, I was doing something on another screen. Oh, I, had gone off to do this or that thing. Like I basically cannot sit still. And not because ADHD, but because I have too much crap I have to do. That's Discord Turbo members chat. Yeah, basically. Cad didn't show us his Baldur's Gate gameplay. That's true. I didn't actually today. Though, admittedly, I was just like... So, here's what I did in Baldur's Gate before stream. I logged into Baldur's Gate. I'm somewhere in the actual city in Act 3. I walked... Oh, sorry, no. I looted a dead body that was part of the murder mystery quest. I left the house that the dead body was in. I walked up, met another NPC from Act 2, talked to them. They wanted me to drink a potion, and I didn't even drink it. That's it. That's the equivalent of what I did with my like hour that I had to play Baldur's Gate. Because I wasn't actually playing. I literally walked like 50 feet, talked to one NPC, and looted a dead body. That was it. that was the epitome of my time. CAD speedrunning, I see. Yeah. Is there an opposite to speedrunning, chat? Because whatever it is, that's what I'm doing. I am certainly not speedrunning at the current point in time. When do you think you'll be doing the JP survey? I said it earlier. I'll be doing it probably Monday. Assuming nothing else more important comes up. Called taking your time. Yeah, no, it's just I get distracted by various other conversations and things that I'm doing. So yeah, I just did not manage to get anywhere. Plus, in that hour chat, I also just end up like eating and stuff too. So it like I don't get very much time to myself, unfortunately. I feel like I've told you guys this on stream numerous times, but it's like I just am always juggling things. It just is how it is for me. It's not that I like hate it or anything like that. I guess there's definitely the side of me that goes like, man, I wish I had like more time to actually spend on certain things. Chat, what is mission 23? Because I think that's the one I'm stuck on. Yeah, I am stuck on 23. Do Lancer? I have been doing Lancer, though. Like, I've been doing that Lancer node with Ellie. It is annoying? Okay. Oh, damn it. That's all the complete ones, I think. Yeah, this one. So I'm at 23 out of 25. Whatever it is. I don't know. But I feel like I had done that node like 6 or 7 times already. So I'll do it again. But yeah, it was like, what the heck? Is it just literally only giving me credit for having killed Ellie or something like that? It's Lancer Servant 25 times? Yeah, that's stupid. Holy hell. That is actually dumb. So it may be because I didn't do like the other ones earlier. But I hadn't realized that was the case. I mean, I thought it was probably like chaotic enemies because the commonality that I had was like I had that available, I had Helena available and stuff like that. So like I was assuming it was probably chaotic aligned enemies. But I still figured it was only those enemies because that was the only preview that I had. Damn it. I didn't actually get 2 cards here on the first wave. I hate mission events. I mean, it's just how they are. Mission events are not hard to do, especially now that you can see like the little icons on things. The only issue is when I'm playing JP and I can't physically read what the mission is. But even then, the majority of the time, I can just either play the event normally and it'll solve itself, or kind of take a look at what missions are available from the pictures on nodes and use that as a guess. How's it going? JP finally got a survey for us? Yeah, and that's like, JP was way overdue. In that regard, I'm really curious as to why they dropped the survey now. Like, one, we're not done with both reruns yet. 2, they haven't dropped anything new of late. 3, we have not had a download campaign in a long time. And 4, we're still about like a month plus out from JP's anniversary. So like, I'm really surprised. I figured if anything, the better time would be to give it either at or after anniversary. But I don't know. I don't know what their plans are. Hello, Astral. You need to connect your Aniplex account for it. You can do it. So remember, there's the 2 ways to connect your account. You can either do it on the Aniplex website, the big robust way, or you can do the simple way through FGO. And both do work for the survey. I've seen people try to claim that the simple way doesn't work, but it does. Maybe they're ready to start working on stuff and want an idea of what should be the priority. I mean, right now, priority like should absolutely full stop, no questions asked, be like working on part 3 of the game, whatever that is. Like, and I the reason I say this, chat, is because they have got to get Ordeal Call and Cosmos and the Lost Belt done. I understand it's like the big story that they have worked on for a long time. They've got to get it done. They've got to have that rebranding. The game will suffer until they do. Because again, we've been on the same quote unquote brand title / chapter for going on literally like 7 years now. That's a problem. I doubt Annie 9 is improved by the survey. Yeah, I don't think so. I think whatever Annie 9 is already locked in. Unless there was something that they could quickly and easily adjust, I severely doubt that that's the case. To be honest, that'd be fun if this year is slow and mid, so part 3 can come out early next year. The only reason that I would take issue with that, Shrath, is that's exactly what last year was. So what will be NA's 2025 was JP's slow and mid-year. And I'm dead serious. Like, they did not do good in the prior year. It was an atrocious year for them. So I hope that this year is not more of that. And so far they've been okay. I don't want to see them like fall off in the last 6 months of the year. It's been bad after that, IMO? I don't think so. I think them doing reruns, it's clearly stall, but chat, let me put it to you this way. You cannot hold that against them because everybody and their brother demanded reruns. So we do not have the right to sit there and go, hey, devs, why aren't you doing reruns? And then go, why the fuck are they doing reruns? That's just us being hypocritical at that point. So it's like you've got to give them credit where credit is due. They did what the community asked for in that sense. Is it a stall? Absolutely. Oh, god damn it. I missed the second skill. Oh well. Still get the charge per turn. That's actually the big thing. I'll take the 2 reruns over nothing. Right, exactly. And that's why I say what I say. You could argue that doing the reruns back to back maybe wasn't ideal. Yeah, I think that would be a more valid point to make, but I don't think it's been bad since the Mihoyo collab. I think the only issue that I can really point out is, again, that we are overdue for the download campaign, and I really wonder what they're going to do in that regard, because at this point it will have been quite a time since their last download campaign, and it certainly shows that they're either like delaying / stalling it, or that maybe we have not actually hit the downloads required for it, which is equally a problem. Like that is a concern if we haven't. It's a long time without a new servant. Is that actually a problem? Like, that might be a problem for them, right? Like, that might be a problem for their revenue, but us not getting a new servant in the game for a while, that's not a problem. Chat, you literally get to Horde for anniversary in summer. I don't think that's an issue at all. Let them cook? Yeah, quite literally. Like, hopefully this results in them actually doing better with regards to unit design. The reruns gave us the chance to plan for the rerun if you mess up the current event. Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. You're talking about just reruns in general. Draco made more money than a new servant. I mean, again, Draco dethroned like literally everything every other gacha game was doing in Japan at the time. So, I mean, say what you want. It certainly was lucrative. At the end of the day, though, like I was saying, yesterday on stream, I do feel like the way they've handled Draco has been scummy. But as long as Draco is like the only unit they ever do this with, I don't know that I care. Like, it's not that big of a deal because basically when Draco comes out on NA already has clairvoyance. We know exactly what to do, and we're all just going to roll right out of the gate. Like it's going to be a non-issue. The issue will be that JP obviously never had that clairvoyance, and they kind of got shafted by it. But NA won't get shafted by this. As a new player in the game, I'm always hoping for a better pity system. Yeah, I mean, I think all of us are, right? Like, as a veteran player in the game, I'm hoping for a better pity system. I think it's just the case with a lot of us, but we'll have to see, right? Because I don't think anyone really knows what the devs have in store for us. In that regard, like, I think Annie 9 is going to be very interesting. And I feel like I say this every year now for the past, like, 4 or 5 years, but, like, it really feels like every anniversary now that a lot is riding on the anniversary. So I hope that they knock it out of the park. I hope that it's a great one. They can improve it all they want as long as it doesn't eat into my free courts. Right. Curious to see if they bring back Destiny Order GSSR at any 9. I don't know. I like, and I've had people ask me, do I think that that'll be the case? And I'm like, I just actually don't know. We don't know. Are they going to keep like restricting GSSRs like that? Which is really funny because I've started to get a lot of questions about the Destiny Order GSSR. But when it actually came out, I saw a shit ton of people complaining about it. Now, and I said this back then, and I'll say it again. I still do not understand how anyone can complain about the Destiny Order GSSR at all. Like it is literally you pick who you want to get. So if you don't get who you want, it's your own damn fault. Like at the end of the day, it's random still. So at that point, if you were like, oh man, but I got the one person that I put on there that I didn't want, and it's like, then why did you put them on there? You should have put someone else at that point. Like, it's still always up to you as to who you're going to slot in, but the result is going to be random between that. And that doesn't make the Destiny Order GSSR bad. It just means you got shafted in who you received. But it's still your choice as to who you're going to get. But CAD Destiny Order is bad because they made it to make money. You're right. Destiny Order is bad because they made it to make money. I guess I'll go quit every other gacha game ever. And also, I will quit every other video game ever. Because it was made to make money. Like, I get it, right? It's just one of those things where there's no point in crying over the spilled milk. And if you can't accept a good thing and you're going to complain about a good thing, then nothing's ever good enough, right? Like, you're literally just going to complain about everything at that point. Are we getting it this year or is it net? We don't know. Oh, you mean on NA? NA will be next year. Time to retreat into the woods and live au natural to avoid making money. Right, exactly. Hopefully they cook up Summer Astolfo. I don't want that. But I hope that they at least cook up good, well-designed units that are not like the most power creep or broken thing. They're just good, and they're designs that everyone loves. That's really, I think, like the most we can ask for. Also, I realize this is going to be annoying because I'm a single unit, so I can't stagger cards in any way. Like, the only way is going to be by using my NP. And in that regard, this is the one thing I hate about Draco's deck. I actually do wish. I swear to God. Okay, so I actually do wish that we basically had the second arts card instead. I understand that this allows triple buster and it does allow for some really powerful carding, but there's times like this where I could just be like, aha, and get triple arts. It's probably not going to be the end of the world either way, but it is at least annoying in times where you maybe don't have crit stars, and at that point, then you maybe aren't able to secure the arts crit. If the deck was BBAAQ, it would be perfect. Yeah. But like I said, I can understand the, like, where people would be like, no, you're wrong. It's better as triple buster. But like, I prefer to have the ability to gain Noble Phantasm. Hello, Scarlet. She really have good NP gain with that single arts card? Yeah, she does. She actually does have good NP gain. So, like, that is the thing, is usually if I crit with even one of the cards, I'm probably back to full. If I don't, then we kind of have issues. Okay, shoop de loop. Triple Arts, are you trying to break the game? Stop your ideas are too OP? Yes. Only Triple Arts with the NP, not even without it, right? I only asked a pity for 4-star servants and a few quality of life. So, chat, is the survey normal as it normally is, or is the survey got like something like outlandish this time around? Because I have not looked. I haven't even dabbled in it yet. Because I got to go link my account and I hadn't linked it yet. Haven't checked. We'll see if fandom has anything. Oh, no, I'm just curious in general. You don't have to go look it up on my account. They probably did the Triple Buster deck to balance her more, but she still borked. I mean, the Triple Buster deck just means a shit ton of damage. The hilarity is they were probably trying to limit her refund to make that charge per turn more useful, but then it ends up being a case of like, okay, well, you've done that, but now the unit's just actually cracked for damage. And the unit still kind of full loops a lot. I think the only new question was they asked when summoning what you look for. What do you mean by what you look for? Like what do we want in a unit? Or like, what is the reason that we choose to roll? Because I guess that's technically a different answer. Because like I can flat out tell you guys what I look for in a unit when I want to see what I want to roll is basically something like this. Okay? There. You get your Lara Croft triangle titties. Okay? That's what I look for. Design, yeah, design. I'd be happy if I got a Lancer Ultra rate up. Yeah, no, I just like at this point in an FGO, especially for us veteran players, they have problems. They basically can't put anything in the game that we don't already have. Like, the only things that they can put a card type and unit combination in the game that we don't have. For instance, with rarity in mind. For instance, there is no single target SSR quick archer. It doesn't exist in the game after, again, going on 9 years. How? I don't know. That's just stupid. But like, If one comes out, am I immediately going to roll it? Maybe. It depends on the unit, right? So like it depends on whether or not it's good. Good thing anime titties aren't affected by gravity. I mean, chat, even if boobs sag, they're still boobs. Just saying. They could finally fix quick, right? Face card type AoE. I mean, that's already a thing, so. Spoken like a true man. I mean, guilty. Yeah, I will say that. I think that is one of the biggest things that they lack at this point. And I don't care what the excuse is anymore, chat. I don't care if they were going to release like Super Marisbury Animasphere and he is a 6-star quick support. I don't care. I don't care what they were holding it back for. Quick has been like unsupported really in relation to the other card types for way too long. And it just does not make any sense. Abe would be a 7-star then? Oh, of course, yeah. Naturally. But that's my only point. Care less about looks, I just roll for anything. No, you don't. Deontay, you're all the time saying that like you're only going to roll for certain units and that you're not going to like, touch anything that you don't want. You definitely care about looks. Abby no Seime coming this Annie to save quick. I don't know. I know that Abby no Seime is one of the more anticipated units on JP's side of things, but it's anticipated because it's been talked about for a long time. But while there have been hints of the character, there has never been any sort of like smoking gun where it's like instantaneously that unit's coming. Quick cope servant? Yeah. Agravain win. That is another one. Like, I'm actually surprised that we haven't gotten like more of the Knights of the Round. But it is what it is. It's the same deal. It's like FGO and Fate in general is not out of famous characters to adapt into servants. There are still way more that they can do. The choice though is always up to them and who they choose to do. And this is why, so hear me out, right? For those of you guys that watched my video, I said a lot about how I feel like FGO is basically more focused on the story than making money. And I firmly believe that. While I do believe the devs are in the business to make money, and I do believe that they are trying to design characters to that extent, I also believe that Nasu and Takeuchi, their main focus is on character development and story more than anything. And they let Lasengel handle the monetization side. They just want to tell their story. And so in that regard, I feel like it's kind of what does set them apart. We have whole planet history. We have material forever. Oh, yeah. I think it's time for an Annie servant to come out with a quick MP. Have we not had an Annie servant with a quick MP? Yeah, I guess it's been all arts and Buster. Really, it's been majority arts. Because let's see, chat. Annie 1 was Da Vinci. Annie 2 was Sherlock, right? Annie 3 was... Who was Annie 3? Scotty? Yeah, Scotty is technically arts. Scotty is technically arts. Annie 4 was that DVR? Yeah. Annie 5 is Castoria. Annie 6 is Kayanskaya. Annie 7 is Ark. So only these last two are Buster. Everybody else is Arts, chat. Yeah, Quick definitely needs to be one of them. But like all the rest of these are arts. Oh yeah, sorry. And then Ace. I did forget about Annie 8. So interestingly enough, they've been on a Buster kick with that. I don't know if that's like a trend though. I think it's just they make the Annie unit who they want it to be come hell or high water. Shortcake, thank you for the 9 months. Appreciate it. Oh, my eye. QQQ Chain did 10 stars back then. QQQ Chain still does 10 stars on an A. We're about to get the change finally as of 7th Annie. But yeah, so like that is certainly an interesting observation. I've never really thought about that. I will say we've had a lot of casters, I feel like, be our anniversary unit. Did you just stun me? The hell? I'm an Arts and Buster user mainly because of my 120s, but I wish Quick would get better treatment. Chad, I'm gonna be real with you. If you think along the lines of like I'm an Arts main or I'm a Buster main, you're doing it wrong. Like, I understand that people have like preferences. I understand that people have favorite units and such, but like you absolutely should never pigeonhole yourself into like, oh man, I don't actually care and I don't want to use these other units. Like the second you do that, that's when you just might not take the right unit for the job that would have been a lot easier. In a farming node? No, this isn't a farming node. This is story. Where are the extra mains, right? You're a Nero main? Oh, I see. I'm an Artoria main. Yeah. I play Artoria competitively against all of you. See, y'all are like y'all are bronze ranked. Red main, I'm a small booba main. I see. Most of what unites the polar arts. Yeah, most units are, and it's not by a huge margin, but it is. Oh, you'd never think that? I see. Wait, what is this? Why am I getting this pop-up trying? Oh, it's QP, isn't it? Good lord. Yeah, because I'm not actually full on anything. Always QP cap. Yeah, it's just weird because I need to like sit down and actually spend some QP down on my JP account. I think it was Jonta is in need. Yep. I thought you could play regardless of the QP cap. You can. Um, yeah, air charge is flat. And then Saints Gift is actually the one I probably want to level. Oh man, that is I'm glad I have that many shells now. Holy crap. That is so nice. Yeah, the reward that I was trying to claim had QP in it, so it basically booted me. And once I realized that, I was like, screw it, let's just go level. Fine, I'll take it to 9. I hate some of the requirements on some of these skills. Because I prefer to hoard materials in case I desperately need stuff, and it becomes a problem. But that should be enough for now. Wait, so it can't have been a mission. It had to be literally a... Oh my god. There we go. Which actually, I don't know what these are. I got 13 days to complete them. Probably need to go look at what it is. But oh well. Off to NA chat. Which is shitty because I should have started with NA. Kood, thank you for the 21. Appreciate it. Hope you're having a good day today. And thank you, Jay, for using the emotes. At least one of you guys celebrates a sub. Castoria has no hit counts on her NP. That's true, because her NP doesn't hit. So, like, you kind of expect that. Hey, I do it sometimes. Do you, though? Also nice. Upside down. Did we do media share stream? Yes, we did. So, yes, you missed it. I believe we did it Wednesday. Because I've had to, like... This week's been kind of rough because we've been trying to cover all the anniversary stuff, which I'll probably be dropping those videos next week. But, like... You guys can see just how much there is to cover from anniversary. I swear to God, every fucking time. The thing that's annoying me is I keep getting capped out because I'm trying to min-max this for anniversary. And it's just molding me as I keep having to do this over and over and over again. I need to just spend it down. It's still gonna be Roland. Thoughts on the Asmongold name drop? I covered it. You'll have to go back and watch. I was thinking of doing the meme when Summer Scotty arrives to do triple Scotty. Astolfo, but honestly, if you want to use OG Astolfo, just do 2 Summer Scotties and Oberon. I mean, chat, yes, you can do that. However, if you overuse your Oberon will end up bond capped. So just consider that, right? Like, having that extra support option, so having the ability to run triple Scotty, means you now have an option that you can run instead of something like Oberon. So there is that reason to kind of do it. My Oberon is on his way to Bond 14. Yeah, that. Oh God, power just flashed. That definitely sounds a little oof. Why don't you use your 4-star Embers first? I can. It's really not going to make a huge difference, and they're not the same class anyways. Plus, we're not at the end of the event yet either. Chat, we still have like a week of this event. Like, I don't know about you guys, but like, I've just been like just blindly sitting on this node for forever. Can't believe how dragged out this event is. So, chat, this is what you guys have to get used to now. Like, long term, this is how FGO is going to be. You can expect that there just will be, like, kind of just normal, like, pacing like this. And that it's going to be a week of rush, and 2 weeks of, wait, what am I doing? The same thing I've been doing. That's how this works. And that's why I said, like, to a degree, I'm actually surprised that they don't spread things out a little bit more. Actually manage to like make the story last a little bit longer. As long as lottos get the same treatment, lottos do not. Lottos are a 2-week affair. They are the only exception to the rule. Get fucked. And that it just is the way it is. You sure media share VOD is on Wednesday on Twitch or YouTube? Not on YouTube. We can't do the media share on YouTube because it'll get copy struck immediately. A lot of those will stay 2 weeks, yeah. And if you really think about it, chat, that is part of the reason why they don't want you to have, like, more time, basically, to actually farm. People whine about time locks for some reason, and I find it funny. I understand people being busy, but yeah, the majority of the people that complain about time locks, it's usually because they want to, like, just quickly rush the event and go play a different gacha game. That was the wrong buff. Or the wrong person to buff. Should still work, though. With that in mind, we're going to attempt a pre-card here. Well, no, I don't even need to pre-card. Also, is this Taylor Swift? Yes, it is. It's a cover of Taylor Swift. I literally had to look, but I heard it in the background. I was like, hold on, this is a Taylor Swift song. At least the Nemo Lotto was fun and had a high level node from the start. Yeah, I will say this. I hope that JP continues to do Lottos how they have been doing. They have been way better. It is just nice to immediately have access to the highest node, regardless of whether or not it is summer or or Christmas. And I feel like that is just the way to go, and they just need to do it that way. So we're going to do a double MP here just to make sure I have the firepower to work. All things considered, I don't really mind being able to take things easily after week 1. I don't really either. Like, it's not a huge deal for me as a player. The problem exists for me as a content creator, and I've talked with you guys about this before, right? Like, you guys know, I like to, obviously, I would like to grow the channel. I would like to again, see if I can, like, make this something more, but it is very difficult to do so when the game is not popping off. It is very difficult to make a lot of content when there is nothing new to make. So that's kind of the problem that I feel like that we run into, is we end up in this situation where, like, I've kind of made all the guide content I can, and while I can make content for upcoming stuff, it is highly repetitive because it's usually about upcoming servants, or it is rehashing something that I have already done. And that's the problem at this point, because if you rehash content, it's not very likely to perform well. And Oni-sama, thank you for the follow. Not gonna lie, the notification for the dogs has been so much more irritating than I was expecting. Wait, what do you mean? Like, you're talking about the alert? Does bond carry over on copies? You mean like between units? Yes. So you can't put 2 of the same unit in the party. Yeah, I mean, is it loud or something, chat? I don't actually know how it is on your end. It may be. Let's just do a story node farm and you're done, which doesn't take all that much time at all. Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. Like I said, I don't really have issue with there being a lot of, like, dead time in the game, other than, again, it's hard for us to actually, like, do stuff when the game is not working faster, when the game is not constantly coming out with new stuff. So part of this is, and I've talked about it before, it's just FGO is an aging game, and aging games become increasingly more solved, if you will, once you kind of know the way all the mechanics work and you understand down through the test of time which units are good and why they are good and what makes them good. It really, you stop actually, like, having to worry too much about things. Like, I guarantee you, to an extent, the same thing is true in, like, something like Genshin Impact already. You can probably look at a unit when they're coming out and know whether or not they will be good. Just straight up. Just that eyesight. And the only maybe what if is if a lot of their capability is tied up in just raw damage numbers that if you don't have the ability to, like, know how to calculate, you might not know right off the bat. Except my wallet. I've been abusing that since the 1960s. I see. Where Babon was depressed because she wasn't deployed, and later on they gave her a feat event. I mean, yeah, knowing what's to come definitely tells you a lot, but I don't know, right? Like, you guys have heard me say this before, and it's like, I like LB6, I like the characters, but it is painfully clear to me, having already gone through this on JP and now going through it on NA, and being able to actually read the context, just how much they milked LB6. Like, they just would not let it go. It had to be part of everything they did in some way, shape, or form. And so it's like, wow, God, yeah, they went hard in the tank. And I guess I can't blame them. It's not like it's not popular. It's just like, it definitely, to me at least, gets stale. I want to see different characters, especially, like, chat, there's some characters we just either have not seen at all or haven't seen in a long time. And I would love for some of them to get the spotlight. Nasu has his favorites. Yeah, I mean, to a degree, right? But I feel like this was more of a, how can we put them in? How can we work them in? Because we know they're popular and we know they'll play well. I'll be 6 Christmas this year then. No, I mean I doubt that, but who knows, right? Maybe they find the way. Yeah, so we still have 10 days left in the event chat, and I only need like 860 K more points and I'm done. And I actually haven't checked the shop here. I probably should. Actually, oh crap. I never redeemed all the doggos because we got distracted by the one. I do wish there was a not complete all, but a complete and rerun. Like if that button existed, that would be great. If you could just literally tell them to go on another expedition and get all the rewards from it, that would be the most ideal solution to this. But because there's not, and I want the dogs to keep going on the same ones, I just do it manually like this. You're at 2.7? Oh, I believe it. Like, I haven't even been running max point bonus. Grandpa Hassan has never been in an event. He's... I feel like he's been in an event, but I am trying to remember which one. Looking 2 of Tristan, yeah. Nero Fest? I don't know that I would count being included in a challenge quest for a lotto. If not, then I forgot who I send where. Yeah, so you're doing it exactly like I'm doing it, boss. He did party tricks and Enmite. Okay. Boop. 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 Don't need the code removers. Definitely gonna grab that. Wow, I do not need any of these silver mats. Holy crap. The reactor cores are the closest. And they're at 400. I do find it funny that a lot of the materials that are in the shop are also materials that are in the expeditions. And I feel like they should have differentiated it, but I kind of understand. Well, this is certainly odd. Oh wow. I am exactly out of silver. That's rare. That does not happen. I had the exact amount to get that. I need a little bit more for bronze, and then we're like basically done. But I'm way overkill on the gold, it looks like. We'll go ahead and grab the rider monuments. Grab the saber ones. We're almost done with the archer ones. Holy crap. Yeah, I definitely need to switch around what I'm doing here. And well, I'm already taking double the 3 stars. At this point, I might just load up on like full point Cs. Or at least to the extent that I have. I don't remember how many I have. Yeah, I have 4. We'll go ahead and do that, which now means Billy's got to get out of the party. Oh, Billy. Okay. And that'll just have to make do. Which, how is Made Ultra coming along? 54,000. She's getting like 8,000-ish a day, it feels like. So she's moving the bar, but not very much. Either way, she'll be done by this event. So that's definitely good. When a player finishes part 1 of the story, what level should they be at? Difficult to say, because the initial master levels go by very fast, and some players blitz story while other players take their time. So it's difficult to say that you should be at, like, you know, X or Y level by that time. People in 150, 160 range don't update their event tab. No idea at what level I should consider someone a new player. If you're at 150, they're not new. Like, here is what I will say. If they are at 130 or above, they are no longer a new player, because it is at that point that the game begins to really slow down master levels. So if they are beyond 130, they've been here a while. You know about another player by their support list rather than their pure level? Yeah, so like, and I can give you guys an example of this. So okay, now chat. Let's take Torak for example. Torak is level 155. Okay, Torak also has this icon next to him. This icon means he has completed part 1 of the story. Okay? I can also see Torak has a 10-10-10 unit. It literally has command codes on it. And he also has a meta support CE and a grailed waifu up to 100. That tells me a lot about the status of Torak's account. That tells me a lot about how long he's been playing and basically the capabilities of his account just from one servant chat. And then I can literally click in here and I can go and look at his actual overall support list. And I can see, look at these shitty like appends that Torak hasn't worked on. But besides that, like quite literally, you can see most of his units here, a lot of his roster, he's got a couple of grailed units. Everybody is at max level. Their skills are almost across the board 10-10-10. Some of them are at multiple MP levels. So again, I know the overall whaliness of this account as well. I can kind of judge it based off of the breadth and age of the units, as well as like how many copies they have and how worked on they are. And this is, again, I've still only looked at one panel of his support, and I can already tell this much. So, are we judging Torak's account? No, not really. It's just, what I'm trying to say is I can very quickly and easily tell you that Torak is not a new player. Torak has been around the block. And I can tell you that, obviously, because I know Torak, but I can tell you that just from looking at his account. I will say that I definitely can probably do that a little bit better than other people, because I did account reviews for years. But the signs are there and you usually should be able to tell, right? So here's the thing I'm going to say. Just because an account has older units does not mean that the account has been played the entire time. Just because an account is at a high level does not mean the account will have maxed out units. These are separate statements. They are not the same deal. So you can only judge an account based off the information it is presented to you with. So yeah, it's more like an account autopsy, right? Like you can literally look at it and you can see, okay, this account has been getting played a long time. It has been getting worked on a long time. It has had a lot of time and effort and energy pumped into it, versus this account, you know, it's got old units, but they're not really worked on. So that tells me that the player's probably casual. They don't log in on the regular. They don't actually farm. Or maybe it's high level, right? Like because of that, and maybe the same deal, right? Like maybe their account is just underdeveloped for various reasons. But it usually has to do with how regularly the player is playing the game. And I'm going to tell you right now, if they're not updating their event supports, I'm bad, especially on JP. I don't update my event supports usually for like the first 2 or 3 days sometimes on JP. But I will say that, at probably like the halfway point of the event, yeah, if they haven't updated their support, they're not going to. And if they're not updating their support, they're probably not playing. Now, hear me out on this, chat, because I've seen a lot of people get upset about this sort of thing. When I say if you haven't updated your event support, you're probably not playing, I mean, you literally didn't go even throw like the welfare craft essence from the event on one of your supports. I'm not talking about that you don't have a full loadout of CEs from the event. I'm saying you have not changed a single thing about your support loadout. That's why I assume people are not playing at that point. Sometimes I just forget to set up the supports. Yeah, and I will say that can certainly be a thing, but if I look at your account and it's well maintained, I'm going to assume that to be the case, especially if I see that you've logged in recently, as opposed to like, oh man, this person hasn't updated their support. They also haven't logged in the past 5 days. And I'm just like, yeah, they're just not playing. Like, doubly so, chat. Again, like, if I see a lot of old units, but I see a master level of like 128 or some shit like this, I know you're not playing regularly. Because if you're playing regularly, this master level will be higher. Like again, chat, look, mine is 160 out of 160. I've been sitting at this already for a long time. My JP account is functionally... Yeah, my JP account's also at the max, right? And it's not because, oh man, I like ultra farm to get to max. You just naturally, from playing the game regularly, will get there easily before, whatever the next deadline is. So it's usually not a huge issue. It's not that bad, but I don't have the point C up. How dare you, Tor? No, I'm just kidding. And like that was not meant to single out Torak at all. Where's my drink, chat? Here it is. Okay. It was not meant to single out Torak. It was literally just to use Torak as an example of like, here's how I can tell the age of an account. Here's how I can tell how often it's being played. Here's how I can tell like the body of work that the player has created. I'm sitting at 158. You're fine. So how do I know that? How do I know that you're fine, Peanut? Well, because I know you've been playing for a long time. And I know that the difference between me and you is probably how much I grind at a lotto. The reason I'm already at 160 is because I have ground in lottos. Whereas you probably don't grind as much. So like, as a result, you're close to max level, but you're not at max level yet. But you're still doing fine. Like, I know you've been playing the game, not slacking, right? If you were like 136 or something like Avalon just type, you be slacking. Okay? Like at this point. Especially if I know you've been playing the game for a long time. And I'm not saying that as an insult to Avalon. Avalon knows. Avalon knows he's been slacking, so. I'm 135, but I started playing this year. Yeah, you're perfectly fine. Perfectly. Right? And that's what I'm going to say. Like, you started playing this year. You're already north of 130. You're doing really good. You're doing really good. And I assume at that point that you are, while you're new, you have already learned a lot about the game and you're already playing it on the regular. That's what I would assume from that. But is there an amount at which a player is considered not new? No. And that's why I said, like, it really depends. If you blitz the story and that's all you do, you're going to get to, like, really deep in the story with not a high-level master rank. But you might be someone that has a really high-level master rank and you haven't even completed story because you're just not working on it. That's another thing that can also happen. So it really just depends on how people play the game. But there are little telltale signs that I can at least tell certain benchmarks for where someone's at. My playtime's been super erratic over the years, and I bet if I were to look at your account, I bet I could tell that. For instance, when I used to do account reviews, one of the easiest ways that you can tell, chat, is if I look at welfares. One, which welfares do they have? And two, are any of them incomplete, and are any of them like not actually fully like worked on? And that's usually one of the ways that I can tell. If all their welfares across the board are like not worked on, they may just not work on their account very much. Like what I mean by this is like maybe their skills aren't maxed out and stuff, so they just don't work on skills very often. But if like all of a sudden they have like one of the oldest welfares in the game, like Santa Altar, but they don't have someone like, I don't know, like Hoku Saber, then I know they just weren't playing during that time. Because that's the only explanation for why they wouldn't have it. Leah's MP2 Shiki, SMH fake fan. I see. I remember when I let my NA account get reviewed back then, I didn't have any of the supports, but everything else was taken care of. And I probably told you to get all the supports, didn't I? Because that's just who I am. Oh my god. Now, Avalon, did you get me the damage numbers for Shufu? Sure, okay. I gotta make Avalon like second guess himself for a second. Trick question, yes. Well, to be fair, I did tell him that if he wanted to, he could assemble a comparison for healing in peace for me. And he didn't do that, so he dropped the ball. It's fine. I don't actually need it. It's like it's just more of a curiosity than anything for stuff like this. And at the end of the day, really you shouldn't be judging your like supports and stuff based off of hard numbers more than like here's what their capabilities are. Sorry, chat. I keep like getting something in my eye. So if you see me rubbing my eye a lot, that's why. It feels like there's something in there, and I like trying to like get it out. It wasn't at least an SR for a long time. Yeah. Get eye drops? I don't know that that'll help. Not someone like me that never uses them, right? I'll probably just be like, what is that? So when Trubs was talking about her earlier, he was saying the correct name. Trubs kept mentioning Jofuku earlier when we were talking, and I was like, the fuck is Jofuku? And I was like, oh, I think he means Shufu. And sure enough, like, and I put it all together through context clues, and I'm like, oh yeah, he actually was talking about her. Okay. Right. I hate this skill. I hate everything that this skill represents. Yeah, and then her third is anti-assassin, which is actually good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yep. All right. Okay, I do not have to do much prep for this one. I don't have anything I need to look at or anything like that. Everything that you guys see is as it is. This shouldn't be too bad. Oh, I do need to here we go. Did the music just cut out? Yes. Okay. I was like, that just freaked me the fuck out. I thought all my sound cut out for a second there. Music died. Yeah, it was just that song abruptly ended with no outro. Okay. Hey guys, my name's Khadroth, and today I'm going to be talking to you about Shu Fu. Now, again, I hope I'm not butchering her name because I'm not really good with a lot of pronunciation of certain Oriental names, but I'm going to say that Shu Fu is a very interesting unit, not only because we have seen her for a long period of time leading up to this point in the story and events, but also because she is going to be coming to us as our first sort of permanently available extra class of 3-star and lower variety. So in that regard, she's going to be really nice. Yes, we do have units out there like Angry Mango that have been part of the FP banner, but they're ultra rare. So having a unit like Shu Fu is definitely a nice addition to the roster. Now, she's going to be available both on Arcueid's banner as well as the daily summoning campaign that you guys can see here. So if you roll on either of these two banners, you can get her off of that. But again, she is permanent. So once these two banners wrap up at the end of Anniversary, you're going to have that capability to actually get her in the FP pool from then on out. So again, that's going to make her a very available unit. But you might be wondering why I'm covering her and giving her a servant analysis, because I don't necessarily always do it with a lot of the low stars. The reason that we're doing it is because Shu Fu is a unit that you should not ignore. She is an amazing budgetary support for all of you. And this is irregardless of the fact that she is an alter ego. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about the capabilities and considerations that you guys need to understand when using Shu Fu. So to begin with, right here off the bat, you guys can see she only has 7.3k attack. This is obviously not that great, but honestly, for a 3-star, it's not really the worst, especially considering alter ego and a supportive unit. We really don't care too much about her overall attack, but it is at least something to denote. HP values definitely a concern, because this is always going to be a concern with our low star units. But she's almost to 10k, and again, getting stuff like foes and everything on her will make this bump up a notch, make her a little bit beefier. But she is certainly going to be a unit that you're going to want to try and protect some, at least to make sure that she doesn't get beaten to death in the interim. The good news is she is going to be an art support unit, so you're going to be able to pair her with a lot of other sort of survival-oriented supports in the game. So it definitely helps things out for her longevity, as well as just she does have at least some survival-oriented stuff in her kit. It's just not hard survival. It's not going to be that, like, you know, again, like invuln or something like that. Now, from here, you guys can see she is man attributed. She does have star absorption of 100 and star generation of 9.8. She's got NP charge attack of 0.59. And this to me is actually probably going to be one of your concerns with Shu Fu. It's going to be that capability to get her both to her NP and back to another one if you're using her in more long form drawn out content like challenge content. You can see she does have the 4% NP charge defense, which is nice. It does mean that if she does take a hit, that at least you're going to get a little bit more charge out of it. She only has a 28.7% death rate here. That's not that great, so you are going to be at least a little bit concerned if you start taking her up against death-proccing foes, particularly of that assassin variety, as that might be one that you actually would want to use her against, given the fact that she is an alter ego. Her alignment is chaotic balanced, and her gender is female. Her traits are hominidae, humanoid, normal servant, and weak to enemy elish. So she really does not have a whole lot of exploitable traits here if you actually do end up going up against her. Now, the interesting part about her is, again, going to start out here with the deck. She actually does manage to have 2 quick cards. And I'm going to be honest with you guys and say that her deck would be better if it were triple arts. But that's kind of why devs set things the way that they do, especially with regards to the NP charge rate. So I kind of understand. But again, her being a support unit, a triple arts deck would have been wonderful for her since she is an arts-oriented support. It would not only allow her to get to her NP faster, but it also would allow her to form more of those triple arts chains with other units in the party. Still, at least her hit counts are all above average, with the only exception being the extra attack being 1 below average. You do have the Buster card being at 5, which is definitely 2 above average, and you do have the quick cards being at 4, which is 1 above average. So again, good hit counts all around really, except for the extra. And then the arts is just coming in right there, kind of on average. Now, taking a look at her active skills here, again, her overall kit is actually really good. It's going to be very sort of survival oriented, keeping the party alive, keeping them healed up, and that is going to be what she's going to do very well. She recovers the party's HP right here off the bat for 2,000. So again, just a nice flat on-demand heal. It's also going to recover one of the party's latest debuffs. It is unfortunately not a full cleanse. That would be much nicer if it were, but that might make her a little bit OP, and especially given the fact that Asclepius does exist out there as well as other units that can cleanse, I can see why they maybe wanted to restrict this portion of her kit and not just make her totally crack, so that they still had reasons to be used. But on top of that, it's going to increase the party's NP generation for 3 turns by up to 30%. So again, this could be really good at helping the party get to their NP, or again, maybe facilitate looping if you're combining Shufu with a damage dealer. So certainly a nice skill, and it's not on a high cooldown either, as it's only 5 turns if you manage to lure it. So definitely a nice one in that regard, as you should be able to get back to it relatively fast. You can see here her second skill is also going to increase the entire party's arts performance by 3 turns of 20%. It's going to increase the party's critical damage for 3 turns by 30%. And it's going to increase the party's damage against undead enemies for 3 turns by 30%. So you get a weird sort of anti-undead power mod mixed in here. This is certainly a little bit funny given the fact that we actually know that there is a unit coming out this summer that deals extra damage and can change the enemy into undead. But also given the fact that, again, this is on a support, so it may not have been the biggest of deals, but certainly is an interesting thing to see that she can at least just kind of allow everybody to do a little bit of extra damage to that. She's also going to reduce all enemies' critical attack chance for 3 turns, which will certainly be a welcome addition for someone like Shufu, who dabbles primarily in healing. So her sort of survival is a very reactive sort of survival, not an anticipatory one or a preventative one. That is to say, you're not going to be able to invalidate the enemy's damage so much as you're going to have to soak it and then heal up from it. So having the ability to reduce crit chance on Shufu kind of nice, is it's going to just allow the enemy's damage to be at least more regulated and controlled, rather than, oh my god, they're suddenly just critting you all the time and now you can't handle the spike damage. So it is a good thing for her, and given the fact that she doesn't have a ton of health herself, it's definitely nice in terms of her survivability. Now, she only has this on a 6-turn cooldown. Again, for most people, this is probably going to be one of the skills you would lure, but probably not the immediate candidate. So in that regard, I think most people are not going to lure it. As a result, I think you're looking at a 7-turn cooldown for most of you, as you might take it all the way up to 9 if you're feeling robust. But at the end of the day, this is just going to be sort of her party, again, sort of damage enhancement and sort of like allowing them to facilitate looping some. So it is a good skill nonetheless. Her third skill here is going to charge 1 ally's NP gauge. It is basically a targeted charge here for up to 30%. That is certainly nice and welcome. So again, this is why I say she's going to be pretty nice. She has NP gain, arts up, and a targetable charge in her actual kit. So you know you're going to be able to use that very well. And given the fact that she is a 3-star unit and is totally free, everyone will have her, and she is very good for, again, budget for party cost and actually being able to slip in there when you maybe don't have enough party slots to actually use somebody that's a higher rarity. Or maybe you just want to get away with using someone like Shufu because maybe you don't want to have to bond a unit if they're maybe getting close to, again, their cap or something like that. So it definitely can be a thing, and it is a nice reason to have her nonetheless. She's also going to increase that target's buff removal resistance for 1 turn by up to 100%. This is also another nice factor. The only downside here is going to be if you are facing somebody that can AoE buff strip. If you are, then, well, the buff removal resistance might make sure that one of your targets is at least protected and doesn't get stripped and manages to survive whatever impending doom is headed their way. But it does mean that since it's only on one person, everybody else is going to get buff stripped and might die. So that is definitely something to watch out for. Still better to have than not, and certainly a nice addition to her kit. She's also going to then from here increase 1 Consort U ally's NP damage for 3 turns and charge by 20%. So this is an interesting aspect to the skill because to me it is functionally the most worthless aspect of her kit. And the reason why is going to be because, again, while you can use her with Consort U, you have much greater synergy using Shufu with other arts units than you do using her with Consort U. Now remember, Consort U has 2 different forms. That's why it says Consort U's ally here. So again, it's anyone with the Consort U trait, aka her 2 forms, her Assassin and her Lancer Summer form. The problem with this is her Assassin is a Buster AoE and her Lancer is a single target quick unit. So Shufu being an arts unit rather than like, say, a quick unit or something really doesn't make a lot of sense. In that regard, while she's a very nice budget support, the design here is somewhat asinine, as it would have actually been very well received had she been a low-star quick support, and it would have at least been synergistic with one of her other versions. But as a result, instead of this, we end up in this weird point where, yeah, we've kind of got an arts support that buffs arts and also buffs Consort U. Again, I'm not going to say it would be worthless to take her in with Consort U. The fact that you can increase charge by 20% and again, target her for even more. And the fact that you can increase her NP damage is also going to be nice. But it's not really the best pairing there. You will probably in most scenarios just want to take a better support than Shufu in that regard. But who knows? Maybe, again, it's that same sort of consideration where you have party cost restrictions or, again, bonding considerations for why you wouldn't actually end up taking someone else. So it kind of works, but it is somewhat tone deaf, somewhat missing the forest for the trees. And that's just all you really need to consider about this. It's nice that she has this, but at the end of the day, it's somewhat weird and disjointed with the overall design of the rest of the unit. And the whole reason she has this is because Shufu, again, is a Consort U simp. That is absolutely her main gimmick as a character, is that she just really likes and is obsessed with Consort U. So I'm okay with them having it, but it is a sort of weird aspect to her that they didn't change how Shufu was actually, working on a card type level. Now we go look at her passive skills, and you can see she gets Settlement Creation EX, a unique form of territory creation that's going to increase her own arts performance by 8% and NP generation rate when taking an attack by 8%. Interestingly enough, this probably is not going to be that big of a deal or make that big of a difference in most scenarios, but I guess, again, better to have it than not. The arts up, though, is certainly a nice aspect to it. The item construction B+ here is going to increase her own debuff success rate. So again, trying to land stuff like that crit down can certainly be nice. She does have High Servant, which at the current moment in time has no effect. And she does have a unique trait that is weakened. And it's basically going to come in play whenever you are attacking a Consort U enemy. you will literally reduce your own attack by 20%. So it is a demerit. So it's just kind of meant to be that she does not want to actually fight Consort you, and if you try to make her, she will be upset about it. Then we get to her append skills. Now, before we really go over these, the immediate thing that I can say about this is, you know that you're going to have somewhat infinite coins for Shufu. Why? Because she is a permanently available 3-star unit. It might take you a while to accumulate them all, but you can get all of her appends. And I do recommend that you do so, because all of her appends are good. So right off the bat, we can kind of point to the mana loading. Obviously, having that 20% starting charge is going to be nice. Why? Because your big consideration with Shufu is going to be getting her to that first NP so that you get the healing rolling in the party. Again, from there, you're going to want to be able to get back to multiple MPs. This is somewhat always going to be a consideration for her, but it is just nice to kind of have that initial edge, particularly if you are going to use her with a starting charge CE, as this might just allow her to get there even faster or with even less sort of devoted charge pushed her way. Then we have her third append. Her third append is anti-assassin attack damage aptitude. Now, she is a support unit, so we don't care too much, but she is an alter ego, so she would already be semi-effective against the assassin class. This is just going to make her more so. So in that regard, yes, this is actually a synergistic and good third skill and something worthy of your coins, particularly if you just happen to be fighting assassins in that node. And then from there, we have the first append, which is her extra attack finesse. Remember, this enhances every aspect of the extra attack. It's not just damage, it's also star gen and NP gen. And do remember that her extra attack is arguably her sort of least up to standard card, given the fact that it is only the 4 hit counts. So this will help offset some of that. But there's another way that you could look at it. That's kind of looking at it glass half full. If you want to look at it glass half empty, that somewhat makes the extra attack finesse maybe the least useful append. But I guess it really depends on how often you're using Shufu, how often you're going to be using her cards and trying to get an extra attack, versus maybe encountering an assassin individually in a node. It's totally up to you to decide if you want to go after the assassin or the extra attack finesse first. But again, I'm going to say both of them are going to be situational, and it's really just going to boil down to certain things. Really, all of them are situational, but they're all easy to get and worth the actual investment. You don't necessarily have to take them to 10 or something like that. Just get them unlocked at least so that you could work on them if you want. Though do remember, this is an alter ego we're talking about, so it's really only going to be skill gems for those first 7 levels. Definitely a nice aspect to leveling up these appends. Next up here, we've got her actual Noble Phantasm. And like I said, it's an arts support Noble Phantasm, so obviously no hit counts or anything like that. You can see she's going to recover her own HP, and this actually does scale with NP level. So once you get NP 5 of her, which you all should, you will heal yourself by 5,000 HP. This is definitely where a lot of her survival comes from, given the fact that this is basically more than half her base health value. Unfortunately, this isn't party-wide. If this were, she would just be kind of cracked as a healer, but I do get it. Still, this is a really nice aspect, as it is going to offset and allow her to kind of stay up through chip damage. From there, it's going to gain 20 critical stars every turn for 5 turns. Definitely not a bad aspect, as this, especially in an arts comp, is going to solve one of arts's, I'm going to say, bigger issues, which is the fact that it's somewhat unable to generate stars on its own. It has to artificially do so by way of skills, mystic codes, craft essences, or yes, again, noble phantasms. So that is a really nice thing that they included on an arts supports kit. The overcharge effect is also going to recover her own HP every turn for 3 turns. So in that regard, she is going to kind of have that continual, staying power of this NP. It's going to help keep her up down the stretch. The problem to me with this is that this aspect is not party-wide. I actually really wish that it were. I wish that this did actually impact the entire party. That would make Shufu a much more usable 3-star. But I kind of understand why not. Because at that point, we are getting into Merlin territory for what this NP can do. So it would certainly make her a very robust and overpowered, at least for a 3-star support. Still, she's a very solid one just because of the amount of like setup that she can do for the party. The fact that she can cleanse, the fact that she can charge, the fact that she can actually buff their arts and NP gain, that all alone right there in a kit is going to be valuable. So you can use Shufu as somebody that's going to allow you to actually do better on the looping side of things. Though she is somewhat selfish with her NP outside of the actual star generation. Again, as to what craft essences and things you might want to use on her, obviously maybe starting charge to help her get out to that first NP and help her stay alive. But ultimately from there, that may not be the biggest of your concerns. You may just be trying to 3-turn, and at that point, it really doesn't matter. You could end up putting something like a Star Bomb CE on her, or maybe even you see yourself going down the stretch and you maybe put something like Fragment of 2030 or Prisma Cosmos on her if you manage to have it. Again, each one of those will at least give her a little bit more staying power in terms of a craft essence, so it's something to consider what your needs are. You might also be able to put something like Ideal Holy King on her and have her just kind of buff the rest of the party's overall HP, or again, slap that somewhere in the back line and use a different one on her specifically. But it's totally up to you. Again, though, we don't really have to show too much off here to compare Shufu, because Shufu kind of stands on her own in terms of what she is. A low-star, permanently available budget support. And that alone is extremely worth your attention. So make sure you grab your copies of Shufu, either on her initial banner or after it ends in the FP pool. And you will thank yourself if you actually do invest in her and get her online and able to work in your arts comps. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what you guys think about Shufu's kit. What would you do with that third skill? And again, do you actually like her Ascension forms, and which one's your favorite? I will see you guys for the next video. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good one. Okay. Her NP is probably her weakest point. Yeah, and that's like, I just really wish that like either this had splash where it was like, oh, she heals herself by 5,000, but she heals someone else by like 1,000, or that this actually affected the party. Like the fact that neither of the heals on her NP affect the party is dumb to me. But I also understand that they didn't want to make Shufu like stupidly OP. They didn't want to have her compete with the likes of like Merlin and Miyu and stuff like that, and really just with her being permanently available in low star. It would have made it difficult for them to design 4-star and higher supports in the future. Sandman, thank you for the prime during that. I'm sorry I did not react to it, but again, I appreciate it. And chat, can we get some love for Sandman? Actually unlock the extra append on Habitat, but I'm not leveling that. I mean, you can unlock all the appends on Habitat. Summer Shufu win. Listen, chat. Do you actually feel like you need a summer version of this lady? Or do you just need her eating toast? Because I feel like that is all we really need to see from Shufu, is just the toast. The green toast. No, I'm just kidding. Is the sky blue? Not right now. Right now it's like dark. Why not both? True. True. They could do both. Give her toast and jelly, I see. I see her more as a Christmas welfare with a reindeer costume. I could see that. And I don't think that would be that crazy. Like, in that regard, I feel like Shufu is really good just because she is cheap. She is free. And she just has good arts looping facilitation. But the NP, the consort U aspect to her third skill, that shit's just dumb to me. Like, I don't know what they were thinking. And like I said before, like, they could have literally just changed this to increases the parties quick, and she would have worked. Heck, you don't even have to do that. You could have just done, either increases the party's NP gain more, or increases the party's like NP damage, or increases the party's attack. You could have done something unaspected instead of doing arts. And that would have made her more synergistic with Consort U. I'm going to say at the end of the day, I'm okay with the way she is designed right now, but it really just makes it's like a head scratcher for me. I just kind of wonder why they did this instead of like again, Shufu is God, what at this point, how many low star arts units do we have, chat? Like actual supports. Because we basically have a ton in the caster category, right? Hans is technically unaspected. We've got Wolfgang. Para. Ass clap. So that's a lot. We really did not need Shufu. Did you just say ass clap? Yeah, Asclepius. That's totally how you say his name. Asclepius is kind of neutral. Yeah, to a degree. I will agree with that. He kind of is, right? Like, you can straight up just use him for anything because he's got party-wide NP gen. So I will agree that's probably an unfair one. So basically, just Para, Mozart, and that's basically it. But I don't know that Arts really needed anything more. Meanwhile, for Buster chat, you've got Shakespeare. Shendong. Yeah, you could argue Leo. Okay, so there's definitely a couple out there. Now, how many quick low star buffers do we have? This is why I say, like, Arts didn't really need another option. You could have literally just given it to Quick. Unless you count Alex and Wu. Well, this is 3-star and lower, so only Alex would fall under that. And no, I don't really count Alex. Here's why, chat. How much buffage does Shakespeare give? Party-wide Buster performance of 40%. Okay. How much does Mozart give? 44%. And they're both party-wide, right? How much does Para give? Well, Para only gives 20%. However, Para also buffs NP Gen and gives Guts. Fair. How much does Alexander give? Does anyone know that off the top of their head? I know, but like, he's para without like anything else. He does have the charisma, which is nice, but like, he doesn't give you like NP gen. He doesn't give you charge. He's not a support to me. He's just this like, he's a damage dealer that can give somebody else some additional like firepower. That's it. Like you ain't looping with this, chat. Buff removal? Oh, true. Yeah. Yeah, no, and that's the point that I make is like whenever Alexander gets brought up as like, oh well, he's the quick support. I'm like, he's not a support. I'm sorry. He's not. Like, he's a damage dealer. Quick's not allowed good supports anyways. It doesn't have any. That is literally its issue. Like, you have to use unaspected people or take somebody that is for a different card type and just kind of deal with it, right? There's nothing you can do about that. It just be what it be. Yellow guy gives 20% quick and arts. That's true. He does. However, yellow guy also doesn't do anything else other than change the field, which that might be a support. But hold on. So, quick hit arts of 20%. Critical star absorption, critical damage for 1 turn, removes their debuffs. Not bad. Charge's own NP gauge. Chat, I would agree with you. To me, he would definitely be a quick support at that point if this were a targeted charge. Then I would be like, yeah, we on to something. But otherwise, no. To me, 20% is not enough. You got to do more than that. And it needs to directly deal with looping, especially because it's quick. So I think we can sit here and we can argue, oh, well, you know, the field buffs could be a thing. All right, chat, how many quick units have a field buff? I'll wait. Anyone know the answer to that question? It's not nobody. They're rare, chat. Yeah, like there's really not a lot. Like, to me, this is not enough to consider him to be a quick support. He gives 20% quick up, and I guess maybe a field if you have one, which is very rare for quick. Ironically enough, most units that have fields are either Buster or Arts. He's the only one with a forest field thing. He is. Well, no, Taiga technically has forest, but yeah. But yeah, he actually does. But let me see. Will it actually show it? I always forget that Juan Gina's airspace as well. Like, I saw someone in chat say Juan Gina, but I was just like, I couldn't remember what hers was off the top of my head. So here you go, right? There's a quick unit. There's a quick unit. There's a quick unit. There's a quick unit, but technically that's the same one, so that's doubling up. So you got 3. Technically 4. Wait, what's her sunlight? What? Oh yeah. Okay. I forgot she had that. It's just not damage. So wait, yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Six. Seven. So there's 7. Okay. Oh, 8. Right there. Literally missed Summer Scotty. Okay, so there's more than I thought. Meanwhile, for arts, you've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait. Oh, we already counted Nero, so we're on 7. Wow. Yeah, so it's 7. It's actually the same number. That's wild. I did not realize that. I guess here's what I will say though, chat. Okay? Now take out every unit released in the last 6 months. Well, I'll say last year. He's good. She's good. She's good. Barely makes the cut. So, like, you have literally had, like, 3 to 4 units come out to make this equal very quickly here. And then Buster, I suspect Buster's our winner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, Buster's our winner already, and I haven't even gotten to the bottom. 9, 10, 11. Yeah, Buster's running away with it right now. The Buster has 11 to the other 2, 7. Mellow 2? Wait, what do you mean Mellow 2? This Mellow? Arcuedes is kind of unique. I don't know if she counts. Yeah, it's kind of unique. I mean, to be fair, chat, like, prior to, like, 6 months ago, we didn't have a darkness field. We didn't have an aerospace field prior to a year ago. So, like, a bunch of these are really new in that regard. You also skipped Melt earlier. Did I? Well, hold on. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. That one doesn't count. 6, 7. No, I didn't. Arts is at 7. Because Melu already was counted up here. I'm not counting multiple. I'm just counting the amount of units that actually have a battlefield. I didn't realize Buster had so many. I thought Arts had the most. No, I knew Buster had a lot. And that was, I didn't say it, but my initial thought immediately went to Nobu and all of the fucking Sunbusters. Like, Jesus Christ. There's so many of them. So the burning and sunlight battlefields are where the majority of them are at. Are we counting Hassan of the Stars as quick for some reason? Wait, hold on. Is he Arts MP? Am I dumb? He is Arts MP. You're right. Okay, so that's my bad. So then that makes Arts at 8 and Quick at 6. Okay. Yeah, that's my bad. I don't know why I was thinking he was quick. But so like the problem with this sort of thing is basically just that, again, a lot of the quick units to this are new, and if you strip them out, quick had like 3. And that's kind of the problem. Like they're just now beginning to catch quick up. So, and this is just kind of one aspect to this, guys, but remember that we basically have not been getting a lot of love for quick. That is to say, not just in the servant like support category, but in overall servant releases. You do get quick units, but one, they have a tendency to lag behind some of the newest cracked things that are done in other classes. And two, you just kind of have the devs pumping Arts and Buster out because they know they are popular and they know it works. So in a weird way, the issue is not like the quick card or that they can't fix it. It's that they just keep doubling down on their bad choices. Like at this point in time, quick is sort of like an also ran where it can still do a lot of the same things as Buster and Arts, but it doesn't have as many options. It doesn't have as much overall capability simply because the devs refuse to develop it. And they just keep spamming units for other card types. And that's why they kind of have this issue. So like, chat, imagine if Aoko had been quick instead of Arts. You would have had 2 quick units in that actual like campaign. You would have had our first ever AoE unit in the game be quick. But instead, the first ever AoE unit in the game is Arts. And then you kind of go like, okay, yeah, this is why we have issues. Like that's just kind of what they keep doing. You look at Melisson, the first unit who could ever change her NP type. What card types is she? Arts and single target, Buster and AoE. Hey, now we've got like Summer Barcast who can also change her MP type. What card types is she? Arts and Arts. Oh. So it's like whenever they start doing new stuff, they just kind of keep hammering those tried and true card types that they know are going to work. I feel like before Alice, the previous strong quick is Summer Scotty, but only because it's a support. What do you mean by strong quick? You mean like highest damage dealer? I don't know. I know Summer Scotty can loop very well. I don't think she's our highest damage dealer at all, but I'd have to double check. Yeah, I was gonna say Karen, Dante. It's like you've got some really good quick ones. And again, that's why I'm trying to say it's not that there aren't good quick units. There are. It's just that they keep hammering Arts and Buster over and over and over again. At least they made Bizette quick. Yeah, Bizette is the one where I'm like, I'm really glad they made Bizette quick. And I'm also surprised they have not come out with an Arts or Buster version of her. Hello, Bob. Riku pretty strong. Yep. Yeah, Riku is that sleeper unit. I feel like she is not on like hardly anyone's to roll list. Like she is probably on like 5% of the like active player base list to roll or less. And yet she's actually really good. She will do a lot of good stuff for you. But everyone's going to have their eye set on like, again, like Ibuki and and Morgan Le Fay and Summer Musashi and Arjuna Alter. Nobody's really going to look at Sinariku's way. Don't worry, her summer form will be Arts Buster. I hope not. She really shouldn't be. She should be. Well, I guess I can see how they would turn her Buster, but like to me, I do really like that Bazette is quick, and I feel like it works for her. But also some things that could be better. Yeah, I don't think she's a perfect unit by any means. Kind of just waiting for a Zerkalot buff. Oh, I don't know that they'll ever buff Zerkalot at this point. Like the buff that they gave Zerkalot was giving his third skill some love. Like, and still to this day, you can absolutely just loop right over the top of things with Zerkalot. I actually find it nostalgic to do so. Every once in a while, I just go and loop a node with Zerkalot because I'm like, oh yeah, it's been forever since I've done this. And it just feels good. Yonder AT waifu, yes. Quick comps have no way to share charge. Yep. No, and I've talked about that before. It's like, it is literally just the capabilities of Quick are not as good as the capabilities of like Arts or Buster, right? So now chat, can you use Castoria in a quick comp? Yep. Can you use Oberon in a quick comp? Yep. Yeah, you can absolutely use these other units for another card type in a quick comp. It will make a quick comp have those capabilities. It's just not as good as if the quick comp had those capabilities on an actual support that also buffed quick. So that is fundamentally the issue. He used to be my go-to before Castoria. Yeah. Isn't our best single target archer a quick berserker, or did that get crap? No, she's still the best single target. Cause like, Cat, have you not seen MHXA lately? So she got a buff to the first skill. She got a buff to the second skill. She literally hasn't had a buff to the third skill, but don't worry, I'm sure one day it'll come. Either way, it was also a steroid. And now she's had an NP interlude, which increases her own damage against enemies with good alignment by 50% for one turn. So she gets a 50% power mod, and then deals super effective damage to enemies that are Saber class. The thing is, chat, let's go look at good alignment. How many Sabers do we see here? Oh, well, look, this is just lawful good. Oh, huh. That's a lot. That's a shit ton. Okay, well, let's check out neutral good. Okay, definitely less. Check out chaotic good. And I mean, technically, you could also include him if you wanted, right? You can include berserkers and stuff, but like, you ain't getting the super effective if you talk about him. It's just like, yeah, chat, I hate to break it to you, that is the majority of Sabers. The majority of Sabers are good alignment. So this is doubled up the majority of the time. If this is in play, odds are this is also in play. So the damage gets dumb. Actually dumb. Okay? And that's the problem that you have. And it might be why they're afraid to release a single target quick SSR archer. I don't know. Because like it's not gonna stand up. They have to make it rival this in damage, but be better than it in loopability. What about Musashi? Musashi does dumb damage too. I carry the Huyan community. No, you don't. There's definitely people out there that like Huyan and will roll Huyan. So I meme and say Achen's the best single target you can snag. Oh yeah, no, I'm aware, right? Like, and I've been saying this on stream myself. It's just like, I don't know. This is why, like, to me, I don't understand what the devs are doing sometimes, because I can understand there being a little imbalance. I can understand a unit out damaging other units. It's not that close, chat. She trounces your other options. Now, the big problem that she has, she doesn't have charge. She doesn't have that capability to, like, loop easily. But she does have a 9-hit NP, which definitely helps some. And she does have decent overall card performance if she does manage to have, like, crits come into play. FGO showing things in the game, that's a good joke. Yeah. It's a Van Gogh. I prefer Quick over Buster post Mighty Chain and Quick Card revamp, to be honest. Yeah, and like, I'm not someone that locks myself to a card type. I don't say, you know, Quick bad, Buster good. I just use the units that are available. That being said, I do find that I have to try to force myself to use Quick. Usually just because what I like to do is make the best use of my supports. And as a result, unless the situation specifically calls for Quick, I have way more options as Buster or Arts. So I end up using Buster and Arts more. And what instead I have to try to do is I have to look for scenarios that I can get away with using Quick. And then if I can, I immediately run in there and use it to make sure that it gets used as much as the other card types, so that, again, I don't have bonding issues and stuff like that. Is Shifu review over? Yeah. The day Quick gets a real Castoria Merlin, Quick will get crazy. Well, so, and I've talked about this before, but like one of the problems that Quick has, right? And this actually does boil down to the card type issue. There is an inherent bias that the other two card types have. And that bias is their cards at a base design level are better. What do I mean by this? I mean that, for instance, if you want to deal damage, you want Buster. So you already have this advantage of just, if you are a Buster unit, you go and deal damage naturally because you have Buster cards in your deck. Do you want to generate stars? Well, then you're a Quick unit, and then you have the inherent advantage of having, you know, Quick cards in your deck. Do you want to generate Noble Phantasm? Well, then you have Arts cards, and if you're an Arts unit, you have the advantage of having those probably in your deck. This isn't true for every unit. You know, we get the occasional unit like Draco or Galatea that's like triple Buster, but they're actually an Arts MP. We get the unit like Emia that's a Buster NP but has triple Arts deck. It does happen. Here's the thing. When we start comparing these, chat, I'm always going to need more damage. I'm always going to need more Noble Phantasm. I might not always need more stars. This is the inherent issue, is Quick's major advantage is eroded by artificial generation of stars. Now, we could say that this is also true of Arts. We could say that Arts' advantage is eroded by artificial generation of Noble Phantasm by way of charge and other things. The issue is, nobody ever gets upset over having too much charge. They just do it again. Oh no, I'm getting too much every turn. Oh no, what do I do with all these Noble Phantasms in this game designed around getting to a Noble Phantasm? It's not a problem. It's actually a benefit. So at that point, Quick just taps in and uses it. Out of all these systems, basically there's only two that have a cap. Damage does not really have a cap unless you consider break bars. So break bars is the damage cap for Buster. That's certainly an issue, But I mean, we more care about actually being able to pop the bar in a lot of circumstances rather than, oh no, I've done so much that I don't care, right? Like, and again, maybe that's a more whaley consideration, as I've done so much I don't care. But for your more free to play and NP1 oriented people, you're looking at like, okay, I just got to make sure that I actually get to the bar and pop it, and that's why damage is just really good. Arts has a limitation of, well, I guess the bar kind of stops at 100%. It doesn't really, but you can say that once you're at 100%, any amount over that is kind of overkill, unless you're in a, mechanical situation where you actually want that 200%. So at that point, there is a limitation on arts. It's just the cap is high enough, and most units cannot reach it naturally without some form of assistance. And this actually goes back to the early days of FGO, where, again, getting to your NP took some time most of the time. It was not the easiest thing to do, and the game was tuned to take a while to get to the Noble Phantasm. So now we've had a lot of scalability that has helped accelerate that, but because it was tuned so low to begin with for most units, it's something that we can actually handle. It's something that isn't a big deal. And then you go to Quick, and Quick has a cap of 50 stars, after which that point you get no benefit whatsoever. So while there might be a benefit to Arts, there might be a benefit to Buster if they hit their caps, there is zero benefit to, again, Quick. And we can also say that there is actually a diminishing return on Quick. As you approach 50 stars, the amount of stars you need, like the desire to get an additional star, is going down. That is to say, when you're sitting at like 47 stars, do you need that 48th? I mean, maybe, right? Maybe it's on the one card you actually wanted to use, and it sucks because then that one doesn't crit, inevitably. But the reality is, you really start at around 30 stars, seeing that diminishing returns really ramp up. Usually north of 30 stars, we know we're getting a crit. And it's only on a amount of like, hey, maybe if you got really bad RNG, none of your cards crit. Or again, like maybe it's just not the card you wanted to crit and a different one crit. But around that point, you start seeing the benefit less and less as you kind of know you've secured crit. So this is a consideration that you have. In that regard, there is still two advantages that I think you really have with regards to Arts and Buster. And that is the triple effect. So what happens when you triple Quick? You gain 10 crit stars. Soon it's about to be 20. This can be nice, but the reality is, because of that diminishing returns aspect that we talked about, we're around 30, you don't really need it. Especially post Mighty Chain, you're at that point. You don't care. Post Mighty Chain, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I almost never form triple Quick chains. Almost never. It does happen occasionally, but it's very rare for me. Instead, how I use Quick is, oh look, there's Quick. It's part of the Mighty Chain. It's probably my very first card because it's the weakest. The only exception to that is if I'm dealing with a Quick unit and I know I have the Quick card super buffed, then I'm going to put it later in the chain. But for everybody else, the Quick card just immediately plops in right there in first because it's usually the least beneficial card to me. Now, there are some exceptions to that, but the issue at play here is that you don't really want to use triple Quick too much. Meanwhile, triple Buster, what's the benefit of triple Buster? Oh no, more damage. Oh god, I got more damage, guys. Look, I killed it even harder. Big number. Like that's the problem. So like there's an actual benefit to triple Buster most of the time. Triple Arts, this is the most broken one in the game to me. Triple Arts is the advantage that no other card type can overcome. It is so fucking good. Everybody gets free 20% charge. Anyone that's involved with that triple Arts chain. And you can scam this. You can use, again, like, oh, I'm about to like kill this enemy, the last enemy on this wave with this last card, but I got like another arts card somewhere out there in the hand that I've been dealt, and then that arts unit has their NP. Boom, that's triple arts. Everybody gets free charge despite one unit getting to hit the actual enemy. It's stupid advantage, stupid strong. So why do I bring this up? All of that was a roundabout reason to tell you about triple arts and why it is so good. Because that is the long-term advantage that arts will always have whenever we get into a challenge quest. It might not have the damage of Buster, it might not have star generation, but in a game where Noble Phantasms are the meta, and probably always will be, getting to your Noble Phantasm faster is always good, and always will be. That is why, like, to me, when they start doing units, like, for instance, Santa Martha here. Santa Martha is a good unit for buffing. Santa Martha is a terrible unit down the stretch to me. Why? She's got 2 arts cards, 2 quick cards. Well, that might not be the end of the world. That might be something. I'd prefer it if it were triple arts. Not, but okay. At least the quick cards can generate some Noble Phantasm. It's this. This is just an inherent disadvantage. Period. End of story. There is no advantage to this Noble Phantasm being quick rather than arts. If this were arts, it would actually have a tangible benefit. Why? 1, you can form triple arch chains with it. 2, you can also form triple arch chains with her NP and other people's cards. 3, you can use her Noble Phantasm to set up NP gain on later cards in a hand. That is the advantage of having an arts support NP. And that is why most support units in the game that are a support NP have it as arts. It has always been the best thing to have it as arts because of the way in which it sets it up. Mighty Chain helps this some. Mighty Chain does mean that I can at least follow this up with a Buster and an arts card and still get Noble Phantasm generated. Mighty Chain is the only thing that saves this. Otherwise, this is just an asinine choice. But again, that is sort of the issue that you have. Rip Skadoodle. Yeah, I mean, like, Skadoodle at least has an arts NP, unless we're talking about the summer form, and the summer form is a damage dealing NP, so she does not have a support NP, and in that regard, I'm okay with that one being quick, right? It's if you're gonna have a support NP, you want it to be arts. It's inherently better in most circumstances for that to be the case. So yeah, like maybe they did have it in mind, but this is why I point that out. So even if we start pointing out Mighty Chain, chat, yes, sure enough, you have that capability to form a Mighty Chain using the quick card of the NP as your NP, right? Still better if it's arts. Because since this isn't arts, we can't use the Noble Phantasm as part of a triple arch chain. That's the problem. Every unit that can form a triple arch chain with their cards benefits from it. Every unit that struggles, that's going to be a problem. Mighty Chain helps pick up some of that slack, but it's never going to get rid of that triple arts advantage. Can she form a triple arch chain? Yes. Yes, she can. If you manage to pair one of her arts cards with somebody else's arts cards, right? It's just reducing the odds of it happening. And again, you try to like do it with a unit like her that only has the 2 arts card versus another support unit that has a triple arts deck and an arts NP. So they have 4 opportunities to her 2. Also, you guys got to remember, the more you have, the more likely it is to occur. It's not just, hey, she has more opportunities. it's also increasing the amount of arts cards available in the hand and increases the odds of a triple arts happening. Period. End of story with across all of it, right? So that's why. It's why, like I've said before, they really do need to actually consider these sorts of things when they start looking at it. I think I like the buffs to Quick that they did. To me, it's still not enough. Because even if we get Quick to the point where, let's say it has a Quick Merlin, let's say it has a Quick Castoria, would all of those things benefit Quick and be good? Yes. But it's still not going to get to the Noble Phantasm as easy as Arts. Especially the supports. One of the genius parts about Castoria, chat. Not that one. God damn it. Oh my god, not Cassatoria. Fingers tight. One of the genius parts about her is, again, like I said, there you go, triple arts and arts and P, okay? Is the fact that her Noble Phantasm not only protects the party, it also increases the attack of the party. And in a conventional 3-turn farming setup, she can get to it without outside support other than another Castoria. That's cracked. That's broken. That's really strong. Now you compare that with someone like OG Scotty. You are not getting OG Scotty to her NP unless you slap AK scope on her. It's just not going to be a thing. Or again, you use her alongside someone like Oberon or Castoria that has party charge. So that's the weird aspect to it. Even if they put a Castoria out there, okay, well, you know, here's Quick Castoria, and she does 30% charge for the entire party. And then you double them up, and they each do 30% charge for the entire party. Well, now that's 60%. Everybody's at a base of 60%. Then you can combine the append. And now everyone's at 80%. That's really nice, right? You're not far from your Noble Phantasm. That's really good. If this is an arts unit, I just need a single arch chain, and everybody's at their Noble Phantasm. With Quick, I need an arch chain, and everyone's at their Noble Phantasm. That's the problem. Arts can do it because it's already its card type. Quick can do it too. It just needs another card type. And it's less likely to happen because you're taking a bunch of Quick units. So again, like the way to think about this, chat, is not only do you have a potential Arts Noble Phantasm to combine, but you also have triple Arts. That means in a 15 card deck, double Castoria accounts for already 6. 6 of the 15 cards are Arts, not including your damage dealer. Okay? And damage dealer will probably have 1 to 2, just depending, right? But if they're an arts unit, I'm going to say odds are they have 2, maybe 3. So at that point, 8 of the 15 cards are very likely to be arts in an arts comp. And then when you consider the fact that one of them might have already gotten to their NP, it just increases the odds of you forming that triple arts. Because these are extra. So you can literally say that that's like, oh, well, we've got 2 Castorias that also have their NP. Or maybe the arts damage dealer that also has their NP. So while it might be 8 out of 15 potential cards are arts, you actually have, in that scenario, 11 chances. It's dumb. It's really good. And like, again, this is something that like the other card types will never be able to erode. It is always going to be an advantage that is inherent to arts. It's just the way in which they design the base function of the cards and the bonus that you get when you combine them. They would literally have to find a way to give Quick more in order to combat this, or just simply design the Quick units better. So what does that mean? it might mean that the quick Castoria would provide 30% party charge to everybody, so that you end up at that 80% that we talked about. And then, like, I don't know, maybe it also comes with 20% charge per turn. That is what it would take. It would take the ability to, like, automate getting to the NP in order for that advantage to go away. Yeah, NP gain is actually really good for quick. It really helps level the playing field. If it has less than 6 and no charge per turn, I expect it not to loop. For quick, or are we speaking in general terms of any card type? Yeah, so like what Bob's trying to say is like, for instance, let's use Space Ishtar chat. Okay. Because she's the baseline that I compare a lot of people to. She has 3-hit Arts NP. And this works. The problem is that while she has this, it's not a very high hit count, but because she's AoE, you're probably facing 3 units, which means that this is 3 times 3. So it's literally 9 hits. So what Bob is saying is if he views it to be less than 6, then that means it's not good, right? That's the problem that it runs into. Oh, hey, it's my wife. Yes. Bradamante has 5 hits, but she works with 3 times Scotty. Yeah, so here's the other thing you guys need to understand, okay? How much Noble Phantasm does an arts card generate? And Bob and Avalon, you're not allowed to answer. Already answered? Okay, well, maybe chat can cheat and remember your answer. In general or after buff? In general. Isn't it 3 times the stat? Yes. Kyobi is correct. It is 300%. An arts card generates 300% Noble Phantasm. Now, chat, what's the next question? You know it. Search your feelings. You know it to be true. How much does a quick card generate? Bob, you cheater. Yes, Kyobi's correct. It is 1. It is 100%. And 100% is not bad. But here's the thing you guys got to consider. That means every hit of Space Ishtar's NP is functionally the equivalent of triple the amount of hits on quick. This is the equivalent of it needs to be a 9-hit quick NP to equal this. So, you want me to explain this a little bit better? Space Ishtar's Arts Noble Phantasm will probably generate 3 times as much charge as her quick. Savvy? Because they're the same hit counts. Now, the reason this isn't always equal is because you have buffs flying around. You have traits, you have other things. But that's the easy way to understand it on a base level. So, you don't need very many hits to work as an arts unit. You need a lot of hits to work as a quick unit, usually. Right? So this is why, like, I can go to someone like Lancelot and go, oh, 10-hit quick MP. That's kind of nice. And this is also why he will full refund when he has mana reversal on. That basically doubles his actual MP gen. Okay? That's an easy way to understand it. This is basically why with a double Scotty comp, a lot of units refund 50%. But then if you were to actually pump up 100% NP gain, yeah, they would full refund. It's just very hard to get 100% NP gain on someone. Quick struggles to hit 50, right? Yeah, 50 is the benchmark that we usually look at with Quick. Arts is kind of all over the place. We have some 50% refunding arts units. We also have some 80%. We also have some 70%. And we have some just full fucking 100% and up refunding units in arts. Arts is all over the place because the devs know that they can get away with whatever they want as long as they provide the ability to like have the charge if it's not enough refund and stuff. So they play with the numbers and they make it work. And this is why, like I said, like all the time you get these weird takes in the community where you see someone being like, oh, so-and-so is not a good looper. And then like you come to my stream and I'm like, yeah, they're actually a black grail looper and they're not bad. And it's because like people are just like talking about things they don't actually understand. They don't understand how it works. Arts has the supports to deal with that. I mean, look, chat, Quick has Scotty, okay? Quick has a unit that gives 50% card type up and 50% charge. That's enough. That's good. That is solid. The problem with this is it's not that you can't 3-turn as Quick. You can. The considerations are twofold. It is, what do you do with Quick when either the node does not have 3 enemy waves, or you need 6 CE efficiency? And the reason why this is an issue is because, as we already denoted, most of your Quick units refund 50%, which makes it very difficult for most of them to actually start from 0. That's the issue. So when we start considering efficiency or the number of enemies in a node, that's where Quick struggles, at least right now. And not every Quick unit does. For instance, we can literally go look at someone like Okitan. I'm not going to get a hit. Oh my god, I actually got it. I'm impressed. Yeah, they didn't even have Okitan. I'm surprised. Okitan Saber is somebody that actually does refund. And you might be wondering why. She's only an 8 hit count, right? Well, she's only an 8 hit count, but she has an overcharge that increases Quick. She has Quick Up in her actual kit. She has NP Charge. And she has NP Gen. She has all the tools necessary to be a Black Grail looper. She refunds well. And again, chat, all of this is also a factor of the NP Charge attack rate, of which hers is not terrible. So, like, she refunds well. She has NP gain. She has charge of her own. And that's the golden combination. If you have that, you're going to be able to do some good stuff. So it's also why she can sometimes handle odd structured nodes where a lot of other Quick units can't. And it's why she can start from 0 when a lot of other units can't. It's just that adaptability. Look at a unit like Achilles. Oh yeah, let's go look at Achilles. Because Achilles he's interesting, but he's got problems, right? So Achilles got a 0.57. Achilles has Quick Up of 3 turns of 30%. Nothing on his second skill. Oh, look, NP Gen. 30%. Hey, that's just like Okitan. He also has 30% charge, just like Okitan. Well, he's only got a 5 hit NP, so he's 3 less than her. He's got less of a base NP gain rate. And his NP Gen is only 1 turn. Plus, it is combined with his charge skill, which makes it very difficult to use correctly. Usually how you want to do this is now, thanks to appends existing, pre-appends, this was actually somewhat annoying. Now with appends existing, having a maxed out append plus his 30% charge on turn 1 with the NP gain is going to help him out. That's probably how you want to do it. But prior to appends, he was kind of annoying to loop with Scotty. He only refunded like, Bob, what was the average? Wasn't it like 23% or something like that? He was really weird because he bounced between like he kind of wanted to get to 30%, but he didn't always get to it. I've never thought about comparing all three colors at this point of min-max practical efficiency. Poor Quick. Look at what Quick needs to mimic a fraction of Art's power. Thanks for explaining it. Yeah, I mean, and I'm not going to say that you can't use Quick. I'm not going to say that Quick can't be strong. It can. It's just Quick has gotten shafted by the devs' choices. That's why. That's really all it is. And a lot of people don't understand why. But I think you don't have to be a rocket scientist. You don't have to understand every mechanic of the game to understand that Quick is struggling in certain ways. I feel like your player might not know why, but they at least see the effect of how. Like how it's all happening. Karen works just because she steals charge. I mean, you're not wrong. Like, and this is a consideration, an issue with her, is the fact that her supports don't have any capacity to charge themselves. Again, she's another unit that, thanks to mana loading existing, is the beneficiary of that. If you didn't have mana loading in the game, Karen might struggle. You might need to actually slap an actual like charge craft essence on your Scotty in order to help that out. So that is definitely a concern. And this is against casters who have 20% more generation. Yeah, for Achilles. Yeah, it, like Achilles is wild as to like how he just struggles with this. Or at least how he used to. He's a lot better now. Everything is annoying to loop with Scotty if it isn't Karen or Dante's at this point, to be fair. No, I would disagree with that, actually. And the reason why is, like, I would tell you that someone like Dante's, like, the more NP gain oriented you are versus charge, the more you are, like, beholden to the number of enemies in a node. That is to say, the second you step down from 3 to 2, the more you go, oh shit, right? Like, so that's kind of a concern for any NP gain oriented unit. What do I mean by an NP gain oriented unit? Well, I mean, like, let's say someone like Dante's versus somebody like what's his face? God, I can see him. Freaking. Oh, what's his name? I'm drawing a blank. Alter ego guy, chat. Doman. Someone like Doman that has like 80% charge, right? Doman does not refund. He literally handles everything through his actual charge. So that, in that regard, you are brute forcing someone like Doman, as opposed to you're dependent on the enemies in the node because you're handling it all from refund from hitting them, right? That's the way to understand it. It's easy for devs, no arts and buster units sell well, and people like them, so they just keep pumping out those units. Yeah, but I'm going to say, I don't think people actually hate Quick. I don't think people actually hate Quick units. I think a lot of it just boils down to basically a problem of, like, again, the support argument and how Quick handles some of these nodes. I think there are some people out there that sit there and they'll shit on Quick and they'll say that they prefer Buster or they prefer Arts, but I guarantee you the second a cracked like Quick meta were to happen, they would immediately all gravitate to it. And we know this because we saw the Scotty meta, chat. In other words, Quick is inherently flawed. That's a way you could look at it. Like, and I do believe part of the problem with Quick stems from the initial design of the card type. So chat, Quick does 0.8 damage, Arts does 1.0 damage, and Buster does 1.5 damage. Quick refunds 100%, Arts refunds 300%, and is Buster like 50 or no? I think Buster is base 0. Buster is base 0, and it does not generate without additional considerations. Okay, and there's also the star generation rate there, of which Arts is the like lowest. Arts is technically 0 on star gen. I don't remember the actual values off the top of my head for I know Buster is basically second and Quick is first. But the issue at play here with this is you look and you go, okay, so we have a dichotomy between dealing more damage and generating more Noble Phantasm. Why is Arts the second? Why is Arts the middle card? This makes 0 sense. I don't understand it. To me, Arts should absolutely be the 0.8 card. This should be Arts. The 1.0 card should be Quick. And Buster should be the 1.5. And then what you have is oh, how much Noble Phantasm did they generate? Well, Buster generates 0, Quick generates 100, and Arts generates 300. And what you have is you have a system in which the thing that generates the most Noble Phantasm does the least damage. The thing that generates the least Noble Phantasm does the most damage. And the thing that is the in-between is the hybrid of the two and gains the benefit of star generation. This is an inherent flaw in the design of the game to me, and it has always existed from day one. This is how I feel like it should be. Yeah, NP damage is normalized. Bob is right about that. So they did at least rectify that situation. But to me, this would solve a lot of issues. A lot of issues with Quick and it getting used. Because then you would have to make a choice. And when you chose to sell out to get to your Noble Phantasm, you would be sacrificing damage really badly. But with the way it currently sits, Arts is the middle card for damage, and you're not really sacrificing that much. That's kind of why it's so cracked. What do you mean normalized? They are meant to, all things considered equal, deal the same damage. How do we know that, chat? I'll give you an easy example of this. Go back to Space Ishtar. You ever seen Space Ishtar's damage numbers across all of her all of her NPs? They are the exact same with one exception. And that exception is actually Quick. Quick is ever so slightly a little bit more damage. Like raw numbers. And the reason for this, I don't know. They could technically equalize it, but I guess it just worked out well at the percentages that they put in there, the hard even percentages. And so Quick just gets a little bit of a bump up in terms of NP damage over the other two types, but it is so minuscule, it usually does not come into play for most units. Clean percentages look uglier. Well, no, clean percentages look good, but making all the numbers equal would make the Quick modifier ugly. Instead of it being 600, it would be like 586.7. And like, no one wants to see that. That would just be dumb. Fish also can't perform a quick Brave chain. True, but there's no real downside to that. Oh no, she can't generate as many stars. What will I do? I'm just going to run a craft essence or a mystic code or a support that can actually do it. Like, shit, chat. Oh no, she can't generate stars. You know what? Let's put her as an arts unit And then let's give her Caster Gill. Wait, hold on. Oh, right. Yeah, they changed the icon for this. So, again, right there. Right? And ironically enough, this actually doesn't work that well for Space Ishtar, because what this really is a factor of is hit counts. The higher the hit count of the Noble Phantasm, the more that's going to generate. This is also why Gil himself's hit counts are just so fucking dumb, and why he will generate so many stars with his own NP. Do we have this buff yet? No. No, this one hasn't happened on NA yet. Or make her Buster and give her 2 coins and oh look, 40 stars. Right, yeah. And so that's like the ability to manufacture stars is so easy, and you do not need like 50 stars in every circumstance. So it is literally just it's a non-factor, it's a non-issue. And that's why, like, again, I'm just gonna say, like, they kind of messed up with the initial inception of the card types. They have done what they can to equalize them, but the problem that I think that they will just always have is what is meta in the game is damage. What is meta in the game is Noble Phantasms and getting charged to get to them. And that is why there is such a leaning towards brute force charging. It's why there's such a advantage to triple arts carding, is because that is the meta. Whereas there is no benefit to having 50 stars or even having more. Sorry, there is benefit to having 50. There's no benefit to having more than 50. More than 50 is pointless. So they could change that. They could give an advantage to having more than 50. However, that would not be unique to Quick. You literally have a card type that within the meta build generates 60 stars. And that is Buster. So I don't know what to tell them at this point. They kind of fucked up. They just gave every advantage of Quick away to other card types. How broken would them making 3 times Quick guaranteed crits? Yeah, you don't want to do that. Because again, that would not necessarily be unique to Quick. Any change that they do to help Quick actually needs to be unique to Quick, or else here's what happens, chat. So let's say this is Arts with its current performance. And let's say this is Buster with its current performance. And let's say this is Quick with its current performance. Anything they try to do to enhance Quick, if it is not unique to Quick, will further enhance Arts and Buster. And the gap will stay the same. So it has to be unique to Quick in order to allow it to catch up. Stars increase MP damage? Yeah, like I said, chat. So in a Koyanskaya or double Koyanskaya Oberon setup, okay, you have double this skill. Oh, look, gains critical stars. Huh. How many does that? Oh, that's a lot of stars. You get that twice. That's already 40 stars. And then you have this skill. Oh, gains critical star. Oh, that's 20 more stars. Wait, that won't help. Never mind. I can't think of anything. No, it's good. Like, it's good for you to actually realize that. It's good for the majority of people to realize this. That's the problem that they run into. I think the devs are aware of this issue. The devs themselves struggle to come up with a way to differentiate Quick from other card types, because it has to be something that is somehow unique. And to me, the only way you do that is by either changing the card itself, which, again, at this point, since they already buffed Quick, would be almost tantamount to being like, yeah, we messed up. It's still not that good. We were wrong. originally. Or they have to actually just implement a new unit that the effect of what it does only works for quick units. That's the only real way that they can do it. You either change the card itself, or you create a support that like does something cracked, but that cracked thing that it does only works for quick. And I'm not going to say that they can't do like quick Merlin, quick Castoria, heck, quick Oberon. You can do stuff like that. And it does not have to be unique to quick. And it will help quick, but it will not overcome that divide. It will lessen the pain of it though. It will, if quick has more options, it will make quick just more viable, and people will start to use quick more. Like the more viable you make quick, the more people will use quick. I hope it gets a spread charger, a really good budget 3-star option. Yeah, I agree. And I think that's like two of the biggest things that it does need. Scotty 3.0. I've said this before and I've laughed because it's like, I would actually love it if just the meme is that every quick support is Scotty. Or Shisho in some form, right? I would love that. I would find that freaking hilarious. And like that would be all they would need to do. Not enough Scotties, yeah. Like, and it doesn't need to be named like Scotty either. Like, you could do a completely new Shisho face, and it would just be hilarious to me. You could have like, I don't know, like Lost Belt 4 Indian Shisho. I don't really care. I just find it funny. What about her sister, Ifa, or however you say it? I don't know how to say it properly. But yeah, like, yeah, you could do something like that. Although I don't believe the sister is known to really be, like, I think anecdotally, all we really know about her historically is what Ku tried to do to her. I think, but... Sister, yes. And having his son who he killed. Well, I mean, listen, it's not a good story without some sort of like murder in the family. No more Indian gods. There are too many already in the game. Okay, but chat, hear me out on this. Arjuna alter, and it's a Scotty face, and it's a pretender. So Ku treated him as a true threat? Yeah. I roll for that hard? Same. I've actually thought about the possibility of like giving Waver a card type buff. I do think it would make Waver a more viable option. I don't know that they need to like do anything in that regard. I think Waver kind of is fine as he is, and it's purely due to the fact that he is just, again, a budget unit. He is a permanent unit. He is available to other people, and I think that is like ultimately probably the best thing that you can do to like help him out, is just the fact that he is permanent. You can bump him up in terms of his overall capability and he will see more use, but he is not a bad unit. He is still good. I think the only difference is just simply that we have other units beyond him. This is the same idea that I've talked about before when I've had people say that that we should, like, get a unit in the game. Well, hold on. Wait, I totally lost my train of thought. I don't. What the hell was I gonna say there? He's cooking too much. I am. I'm cooking my brain. Waver the generalist picking a side. Yeah, and he really doesn't need to. Like, he's A-okay as he is. I think, like, the reason that you just don't see him used a lot is just because we have power crept him. But it's A-okay for that, right? Do not cook your brain. It's unsanitary. It is. They should have hired Cat as the designer. This is better. I mean, I've said this before, like, and I know I have pissed people off because it's probably people think I have like this hubris about me or something like that. And I'm like, I really don't. But some of these decisions, some of these ideas that I have are better than what they put into the game. Here's the difference, though, chat. Do I think I can do a better job than the devs are currently doing? Yes. However, and I'm cognizant of this, that while I might be able to put something in that's better than what they put in the game, you guys got to understand, it might not be that they're stupid. It might not be that they didn't think of what I thought of. They might very well be smarter than all of us. So why then is it that, like, you don't get that new quick support? Why then does, again, Waver not get an upgrade? Why then does, like, why do they do anything? Why is Pity the way that it is? And I think at the end of all of that, you have this idea that if you put yourself in their shoes, it may have been done on purpose. It may have been done purely because they knew it would be better for either monetary value or player retention. So I can fix every problem the game has, and we can absolutely go through all of that. The issue at play there is it might not be good for the game long term. It might make the game way easier, way more balanced. It might not result in as many people rolling and the game making as much money. And it might result in the game being fairer and simultaneously easier to play so that you can put it down faster. And that's not necessarily good for player retention. So that's why I say, can I fix every problem the game has? Yes. Is it the solution to all of our issues that I think the community would like and be okay with? Yes. But sometimes in video gaming, you shouldn't get everything you want because it will result in a worse game. This is wild to think about, but it is the truth. And like I said, I'm aware of that. So it's not coming from a source of hubris so much as it's coming from a source of, like, frustration. And I wish that the devs would do better by us. But while I don't think they need to milk us as hard as they do sometimes, I do think there is a reason that they do what they do. What if they make Waver lean more into critting? They shouldn't, because they should make Quick lean more into critting. Yeah, that, to me, that is actually Quick's point of differentiation. It's the one that they probably can exploit, and they really haven't yet. They're trying to with what they're doing with Summer Scotty versus OG Scotty, because that allows you to cover two different card types for having potential good crit damage. And so they're trying to make it so that units that basically are this double quick, double buster split have 4 of their cards out of a potential 5 able to be good crit cards. Good idea. There's just one problem. Cards are random. What if I don't get these cards? What if I get somebody else's cards? What if I get the supports cards? So this is sort of the issue overall that I have. When I go look at someone like Summer Scotty, God, the freaking Danganronpa bear. The issue that I have is basically this. Increase one ally's quick performance for 3 turns. Increases the critical damage of their buster cards for 3 turns. You know what I'd rather see than this? I would rather see this be party wide. Would that be cracked? Hell yeah. But that would mean that then all of a sudden you had party wide crit damage. And then so if you got shafted and you actually got like Scotty's buster cards, it would still do good. So why don't they do that, chat? Why don't the devs do this? This is a good idea. Why don't the devs do it? Well, the answer is probably simple, because if they do that, then like if you make a perfect support, if you make, you know, a solution to every problem, how do you release a new unit down the line? That's why they don't do this. That's why they don't make a support that's flawless and covers all its bases. Because then you have problems. Like, and to be fair, that's the problem that Arts has. How do you make an Arts support at this point in time with Castoria? You have to find a point to differentiate it from her, because she is so good at what she does. And that's kind of where like Shufu comes in as like, oh well, Shufu's a 3-star and she's permanent, so she doesn't even really compete. She's just supplementary. So you kind of have to think about that. But I will say this, that really shouldn't be the concern with Quick, since there's only 2 Quick supports in the game. So, and they're both named Scotty, right? Like at that point, you really shouldn't worry about like, oh man, I've screwed myself and I now have no possibility to ever allow myself to create a better sport. You do. You have that possibility because there's only 2 in the game right now. But, you know, with units like Arts and Buster supports of where there's more, yeah, I think that is a legitimate concern. Probably why they're releasing servants that can use Solemn Defense other than OG Castoria. Yeah, I think they're probably trying to lessen the dependency on Castoria, but I don't like it because basically, so to make things clear, Solemn Defense is something very special in the lore. I don't believe it should just be given out willy-nilly, and I don't believe that everybody and their brother should have it. So I kind of have issue with the units that they have given it to so far. I'm sure I will have issue with the other units that they give it to. And the only reason that I'm going to bring lore even into this is because lore is often used as a crutch for why units are strong in this game. So because of that, I have to sit there and go like, well, hold on. You're making a unit strong, and this now runs contrary to the lore. So I don't like it. But at the end of the day, yeah, I feel like that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to decrease the dependency on Castoria. And the thing I think that's worrisome to me is that they might be doing it so that down the line they can finally do something that actually specifically counters Solemn Defense. I hope that they don't, because, for instance, Chad, I want you to imagine a world in which there is Solemn Defense Pierce. You can now pierce the unpierceable. How stupid is that conceptually? That is hell. Terrifying. Yeah, vomit. Exactly. That's the players don't want it, and lore-wise and design-wise, it's stupid. It doesn't make sense, right? Would it counter Castoria? Yeah, it would. No one wants to see it. So that's kind of the problem. Buff removal is already in the game? Right, exactly. And that is sort of the issue that the developers have with Castoria, is buff removal exists, but it not only counters Castoria, it counters everyone. So that's the problem that I think the devs have, is anything they try to do to counter Solemn Defense inevitably just counters other units harder. Like, so for instance, you can buff remove Solemn Defense. Okay. Castoria can just put it right back up again. Well, what if I, have buff removal then, but now instead of using Castoria, I'm using someone that has like invuln. Well, maybe it's like on a skill and it has a cooldown. Oh, shit. Now all of a sudden I can't just put it right back up again. So that's what I'm saying. Like it just is worse usually in other scenarios. the best SR quick support in the game, you're right. She's also the worst SR quick support in the game. Because she's not a support. And she's a 4-star. The 4-star isn't the biggest issue. It's just that, like, yeah, it's just a problem overall. I don't really consider Wu to be a support either. She does defense down, attack up, and quick. Does she enhance a quick unit's damage? Yep. Does she facilitate looping? Survivability? Healing? No. What if they make the unit that can downgrade Solemn Defense, sort of reverse Cuckoo? That would be interesting, but what point would that be? Okay, you've downgraded Solemn Defense. It's now invulnerability. You still don't do damage to me. Unless... Oh, you're also going to add Invuln Pierce to that. Yeah, that's the same thing as actually having Solemn Defense Pierce at that point. It's equally stupid. It's just it's an immediate targeted counter to one specific skill. Buff block counter Solemn Defense? It does, but it doesn't. Do you know why? Oh. 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 She cleanses any debuff before her Solemn Defense goes up. So who does buff block hurt? Castoria? No, it actually just hurts everybody else more. Again, like I said, anything they do to counter it, without it being a direct counter to her, just does not actually like hurt Castoria as much as it hurts other people. What if you made a mechanic that just steals Solemn Defense? What do you mean by steals? Because that's just buff strip at that point. Unremovable buff block, but that would be a massive pain for everything. Oh yeah, and trust me, it is. We've had a couple fights that do that, and they're just annoying. Nobody likes those fights. It takes it from you and adds it to the enemy. Right, that's just mega buff strip. That's buff strip and theft and adding it to it. And guess what? Who does that hurt? It hurts other units more. It just is what it is, chat. Also, we had them free. Yes, we did. At that point, they made CQs in which servants auto-targeted Merlin until he died. Yep. Yeah, and that is a thing. We know that they do have AI in some of the fights that hard targets like supports. So, I mean, look, I'm going to say this, okay? At the end of the day, this is certainly something that is an issue, but is it really an issue? And let me ask you why. Because I've seen people complain about this. I've seen people say, oh, Castoria is broken. She was a mistake. She makes everything too easy. We never should have used her. She shouldn't be in the game. She needs a nerf. We need to hard counter her. Why? Why do we need to do that? Why should we listen to these people complaining? And I'm going to explain this to you. You don't have to use her. Is she a crutch? Yes. But why then does everyone use her? Now the explosion should be going off in your head. Maybe, chat, the people that complain about Castoria want a challenge in the game, and they don't like that other people don't have to have that challenge. Some people don't care about challenge. Some people just want it easy. They don't want to have to try very hard. Castoria is like the ultimate quality of life that got added to the game in that regard. And they just straight up want easy mode. So who are we to take that away from them? It's the same thing as like, I'm not going to sit here and say they need to nerf Tiamat. They need to nerf Draco. They need to nerf Kukulkan. They're strong units. Did they fuck up and make them too strong? Probably. So what do? I don't know. Buff everybody else up to their level. That is the logical conclusion. It's not take away from people the thing that they like using. It's just make other things viable alongside of it. So it's the same thing with Castoria. It's straight up, okay, you don't like that other people are using it, but it's their choice. It is a single player game, and nothing they're doing is affecting you. So that's kind of why I say all of this. Is like, it's perfectly okay for Castoria to be broken. It's perfectly okay for her to sit there and invalidate a lot of challenge fights in the game, because some people don't want to have to deal with it. Games are supposed to be fun and not make you want to throw your device out the window. Right. Some people find fun in challenge. Some people don't. Both sides are correct. So the only fault that I can find is when people don't want another side to have fun. Right? If you don't find Castoria fun, that's A-okay. But again, the choice is always there. You think that she makes the game too easy? Perfectly fine. Don't use her. Literally don't use her. There is nothing forcing you to use her. Just use other units. And then you can at least be proud that you did the challenges without Castoria. And the person that did not give a fuck and did not want to try and just wanted the reward and just wanted to be done with it and move on can use Castoria. And everyone's happy that way. You fun, yeah, right? Like, I think that's just ultimately the takeaway that everyone should have. Everybody should understand that there are different things that people enjoy in this game, and we should try to accommodate as many of them as possible for everyone. In that regard, like, I definitely hear people when they say that they want, like, a story replay or, like, you know, like, repeatable challenges and stuff. We kind of have repeatable challenges. Nobody accepts them as that, but that's the advanced quests. The advanced quests are technically your repeatable challenges. But I understand why people want that. And I, like, would that be a problem if they gave repeatable challenge fights? Would that be a problem if they allowed you to replay through the story? No, I'm okay with that. I think my only stance on that is that I just don't want to see it become a requirement. Like, I don't want to have to sit here and like, oh, bro, you haven't done your 7 challenge quests this week. Like, fuck that. I don't want to do that. That just sounds tedious and annoying. But, like, if you want to provide that as a capability for other people, yeah, that's A-okay by me. I got no problems. So it's like I said, just don't lock rewards behind that sort of thing. And I'm fine. And then you don't have to do it. My main problem is Castoria almost Bond 15, so I need to get creative with comps. Yep, I warned you guys about that. Nightbot out for blood. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know why it's so stingy on the YouTube side of things, but it just do be. Tesla Fest CQs gave me PTSD. Please never again, Lamau. Right, and that's what I'm saying. Some people love the Tesla Fest CQs. Some people do not. So it's like, I have no problem with there being an option. I think, like, my only stance on the Tesla Fest CQs was that there were way too many of them for a 2-week event, and that the reality was that it creates this sort of like anxiety for players that want to do everything. Excuse me. So you have an infinite farm event and you have a ton of CQs, and players did not want to have to do all of them. So my stance on the Tesla Fest CQs is that they should never do that again. And that if they want to do that many CQs, it's perfectly fine. Just split them out as their own thing. And I think that's A-okay. Who's straining my sanity? Yeah. Kayotsu, thank you for the 8. Appreciate it. I'm playing for fun, and if it's not fun anymore, I play another game. Right, exactly. So it's like I'm all for, like, you know, if players find certain things enjoyable, we should try to make the changes that increase the amount of fun for the game. Right? I think that is a good idea. Just full stop. It's just, what do people find fun, and how can we get to the core of that and add that to the game? God, I sound like a dev. Obviously, chat, I'm not speaking with any sort of authority. I'm not involved with Lasengle in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying that is how, like, to me, the devs should be thinking. And that's how we as a community should think. Like, we should not begrudge people finding other things fun. For instance, I have zero interest in like, time attacks. I do not give a fuck. I have no desire to do one, nor do I find them intriguing. So does that mean that there shouldn't be time attacks? No, because other people find it fun. So it's perfectly okay. And chat, you're going to hate me for saying this. This is the point where everyone's going to be like, no, CAD, no. I'm okay if the game had PvP. So long as it did not impact the PvE game in any way, shape, or form. No, CAD, no. Right. And that's my whole point. Like, that's a big asterisk there. But, like, if it's just someone, like, you just want to, like, go duel your friend or something, I don't care. Someone finds that enjoyable, be my guest. Good thing that's impossible. I know. That's the thing. PvP means nerfs. I know. And that's what I'm saying. You would have to literally just have it over there and just be like, it is what it is. We're not going to make any balance changes because of PvP. And that's all you would have to state as a developer. And it's there. You can do it if you want. There's no rewards, but it's there. I don't think that any developer would ever actually do anything like that. They would just straight up keep, trying to make money off of it. Now I know CAD's an agent. I told you, I knew this was going to get everybody upset. So what I'm trying to say is, again, if you can do it in a way that is non-impactful, in a way that is non-intrusive to the game, I have no problem with it. Because I'm sure there would be some people out there that would find it fun. But do I have any faith in the developer to do that? No. We need a Pokemon Showdown for gacha games, I think. Yeah. PvP is FGO Arcade. Right. And that's where, like, I'm okay with that. So this is another interesting one, and I've talked about it before, but I think a lot of people don't ever think when they say that they want arcade to come to NA. Nobody ever tries to think about the logistics of how that would work. Chat, how do you take a game that you have to pay by the minute to play and bring it to, like, consoles and or PC? How you gonna do that? Like, you can do that, but congratulations, you're not getting rid of that monetary cost. Monthly sub, not a chance. You're still paying this. So it's like everyone wants arcade, but no one wants to think of the money side about it. You'd still be paying the exact same as everybody else. The monetization would be insane to compensate, right? And that's the thing I keep pointing out to everybody. And then, like, the more people that realize this, the more like, yeah, I don't know, I don't care. By the minute, that's wild. Yeah, you pay in like stacks. I think it's like I'd have to go back and look at it again, but I believe the rate's like either per like 15 minutes or half an hour or something. And I know at least in certain areas, it's popular enough that you have to actually go and like schedule a time to play ahead of time. I only care about the arcade cards, right? Oh, chat. This is why like arcade's still a thing. They're not even developing the story for it anymore. It's just a money printing machine. That's all it is. They don't even need to. They just know that people will sit there and keep doing it. Free to play, but with microtransactions or just add gacha to it. Right. Could they do that? Yes. Will they do that? No. Why? Why won't they do that, chat? Because let's say it's available on like Steam. Now it's free to play and it just has microtransactions. Why the fuck is anyone going to the arcade in Japan and playing it then? They're going to get on their computer, get a VPN, hop over to America, literally go get it on Steam, play it that way, and have it completely for free. They like, you can't have the game in two different areas functioning two different ways because people will just go play it the way that's infinitely cheaper. I don't think it could work outside of Japan too well. Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's another consideration is like, would it only be in arcades? Could they do it on Steam? Could they do it on Xbox? Could they do it on PlayStation? Maybe. Will they? Probably not. You're right, I never thought about it that way. Right, and like, look, this is why I say the majority of people that talk about it just don't actually think about it. It's not, I don't assume the worst of people. I just assume that people actually don't think about the same things that I do. But, and part of this is because I think about the business side. I think about the actual like developer side of things. So, and I'm not going to say that nobody does that. Just that like, I think your average player usually thinks only from a player perspective. And they go like, well, why can't I have this? I want it this way. And they don't actually think about, well, this is why the developer does it this way. To be fair, I never thought much about arcade before this conversation. Yeah, and to be fair to you in that regard, I don't know why anyone really would. The majority of time, the only reason we ever talk about arcade is because arcade gets something new. And thankfully, that has mostly stopped. The Honore arcade meme is basically dead. So what you're saying is if you really want to play arcade, just go to Japan? Yes. I know Tutu was telling me the other day that when she went to Japan, she played arcade. Which I feel like if you go over there, you should definitely, like, if you're a player of FGO, you should try to find a moment to actually be able to sit down and play it, just for the experience of it, just to be able to say you did. Really paid attention insofar as the new characters, yeah. I missed the Honore arcade arc. I mean, at least, I'll say this, at least with Honore arcade, we had something to complain about that was not the game. It was, we were complaining that arcade was getting shit that we wanted, rather than we weren't complaining that, like, we weren't sitting here being like, why haven't the devs done this? Why haven't the devs done that? Right? I guess we kind of were, because we were like, why haven't the devs given us the arcade things? But that was it. Like, yeah, most have come over now. So on life support until we get those Santa servants. Oh, I mean, I'm going to say now that you've actually had the arcade collab, that there's nothing stopping them from bringing them over. So you probably will see them like cameo or even again be an actual like Christmas unit one year. Once in a lifetime experience, or that could just be going to Japan instead of arcade. Right. And I feel like while I understand that if you're in Japan, you want to like actually have that once in a lifetime experience, I don't see any issue with like, hey, maybe you just find this like 15 minutes here and there to actually be able to play. I feel like assuming you're going to go over to Japan, you're going to at least try to spend enough time that you have enough time to do different various things. Watch them do like Assassin Valks and bring all three, but make you pick one. That would just be evil. Either way, I'll say this. If they ever do it as welfare, you're good. Because you know it's coming in the Evocation Festival eventually. You think they should bring this arcade machines to other countries? I mean, they could, right? They could bring the actual arcade machines over, but where are you going to put them? Because, like, we don't really have the arcade culture that JP does. Which is hilarious, by the way, because who they got the arcade culture from was us. It's just, it's died out, like, over here in America. We still have, like, the occasional arcade, but it is few and far between. And it is considered a, like, in most cases, like, it's a like local phenomenon rather than a like, hey man, there's an arcade in like every town. If we go to Otakon this year, I'll play again. Nice. Try to get me an Artoria card. All the round ones and Dave and Buster's. Yeah, it would have to be like something like Dave and Buster's. Like you would just have to go into an actual chain and plop one down. Why go out when you can stay at home? True. I mean, grass is scary. It can itch and feel prickly. Arcade's pretty much on life support in Japan from what I hear. No, I mean, I hear it's still doing good. Like at least sales wise. It's just not adding anything to the game. So I assume inevitably when you don't add anything new to a game, it will slowly begin to degrade. Like, for instance, League of Legends. Grass and trees are horrifying. I agree. I'm totally joking about League, by the way. Arcade equal managed decline. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. Because again, they totally made the decision to not put anything new in. Which makes me wonder if, like, basically Nasu said, nah, enough of this. I don't have time to, like, work on story and develop new units for this. There's an arcade where I live, and it's just an apartment with arcade machines. I mean, that actually sounds kind of cool, not gonna lie. Although, if it's not well maintained, that sounds kind of dungeony and kind of scary. The reason for that has to do with a lot of the Japanese developer mentality. Like, chat, does anyone know of a Japanese developer that actually does routinely interact with their community? I think, like, the one that comes to mind for me is, like, kind of Capcom. But, like, Harada? Yeah, I was gonna say, he's on Twitter a lot. Final Fantasy 14. True. Yeah, 14 definitely does. Well, no. No, it does not, chat. Not unless they've changed things since I've played. Final Fantasy 14 does not interact with their community. Outside of their normal, like, hey, we're doing this change. Like, Yoshi P does not get on Discord and go and chat with people. It is straight up, they release live streams of like, hey, we're doing this and that. Is that better than nothing? Yes. So, like, I'll give you that, but it is still the, like, one-way direction of interaction that so many Japanese developers do. So, like, Harada, I'll give you guys. Harada's on Twitter talking back and forth and asking questions with fans. He's crazy. I can't believe he actually does that. But everybody else, not really. Most of them are like, we don't want to. And I think the Japanese dev mentality is usually, we don't want to talk too much because, one, that can piss people off. It can create misunderstandings. And furthermore, because Japanese culture is so, like, reserved in a lot of ways, they don't want to have to apologize. Apologizing is a big deal in Japan. Like, they don't want to have to be like, oops, sorry, we fucked up, tee-hee. Because they're going to be more like, all right, we got to go in front of the fucking camera. We have to bow. We have to cut our fucking finger off. Like, and I know they don't actually do that. But, like, again, it's one of those deals where it's a lot more of a serious thing in Japanese culture. So that's why I think they choose to take this approach of very reserved and measured communication. Everything is planned. But then we get angry because they don't talk enough. Yeah, and that is a problem. It goes both ways. We're either angry because they're not communicating what they're doing, or you're angry because they communicated what they're doing. Just eat some Peking duck and make the pain go away, Cad. God damn it. Casca, yeah. Gotta be a language barrier on top of that too. True. Yeah, like whenever you have a multi national fan base, you know there's going to be language barriers. Like, it's wild to me that Harada gets on there and, like, starts talking in English. I don't even follow the dude. I just see his tweets sometimes. And it's really, like, funny. From a Japanese point of view, it makes sense, but elsewhere it doesn't. Well, remember, too, the Japanese point of view is that the developers are working hard and they are worthy of respect for doing so, and that they will let you know when there is something to let you know. Like, that's what I'm saying. The Japanese culture overall is just way more respectful than Western culture. They just do not go as crazy, you know, assuming things as literally the internet does. At least the rest of the internet, right? Hello, Fox. How's it going? Respectful? No, they're definitely way more respectful. Chat, come on. The Japanese do some weird shit. Yep. Have you ever seen a Japanese person get angry? Yep. It is like a 100th of the insane people that I see on, like, Twitter and Reddit on a daily basis. So it's like, it's there, it's just way less. They're masters of patience, yes. It is a cultural thing. So that's something that I really want to, like, make clear is, yeah, they're just like us for real, but also, like, they might think more degenerate than you, but you act more degenerate than them. If that makes any sense. And chat, actions speak louder than words. It's just how they've always been, yeah. But like I said, I think a lot of people don't understand that, because it's the same thing with FGO. Like, if the JP devs do something that the NA community doesn't like, you see all of us, like, everywhere, like, fucking complaining. Whereas the Japanese are just sitting there and like, why would the devs do that? And then finally the devs speak and they're like, thank you for telling us. Whereas we're like, what? Why did it take you so long? Oh my God, that's such a stupid reason. You can't do that. Ah, change it. And the Japanese dude's just like, thank you. Thank you for your hard work. To be fair, community rage produces results. Yeah, but it's not the results you want. Like, I'm not going to say it doesn't get results. It's usually a bad thing if you get results that way. Right? Like, for instance, chat, look at the Helldivers controversy. Did you get Sony to reverse stance? Yeah, you did. Did it stop Sony from doing that and putting PlayStation Network on every fucking game? No. No, it didn't. So, what was the better way than getting angry? Stop fucking playing. Stop paying them money. Don't buy any of their shit. You didn't have to get all upset and rage and moan and whine on the internet. You just had to hit them where it hurt. Buying Xbox? No, don't do that. Don't reward another terrible company. Oh, by the way, chat, I don't know if you guys saw, apparently Steam is getting sued in the UK for antitrust crap. It's literally, they're accused of being a monopoly because they have the anti-competitive practice of, so here's what they do. Steam, if you are a developer and you want to host your game on their marketplace, Steam makes you sign an agreement that says, sure, you can do that, but you got to sign an agreement that the price that you set it at on Steam will be the price that you set it at elsewhere. So all that does is that stops the shitty developer or publisher from either like, so chat, let's say the game's price is $70 on Steam. That stops the developer from going over to Epic Game Store and setting it at 50. Basically undercutting Steam, driving artificial like revenue over towards Epic. This also stops the shitty like developer and publisher from going, you know what? Hey, it was $70 on Steam, and it was $70 over here on Epic. But now, we're going to charge you $100 on Steam. It literally stops them from gaming the system and screwing over both Steam and Steam's consumers. Because what this is they are angry that Steam takes a 30% cut. Still, to this day. That is all this is ever about. And you can see, because in the lawsuit, they allege it's this 30% is the root of all evil. And that what it's doing is it's causing Steam to overcharge. They're overcharging their consumers. Which is rich because Steam is a platform and does not set the price of a product. So here's the thing about this. What this stops them from doing is this is stopping that shitty publisher or developer who's a scumbag from saying, yeah, Steam charges a 30% discount, but you, the consumer, are going to pay for it. It's supposed to be a charge to us, but we're going to pass it on to you. That's what it stops from happening. That's why the UK is upset. That's why Epic Store is upset. It's a smear campaign. Oh, it's not even a smear campaign. It's just actual sabotage. It's actual corruption at work. They are trying to sue them into the ground and run them down with legal fees. which is hilarious because Steam makes more than any of the like places that are going to sue them over this. So apparently the same firm tried the same thing against Sony previously. Yeah, this isn't going to work because the allegation is that they're going to have to prove that it's actually anti-competitive, and it's not, because Steam doesn't say that you can't go to a competitor and sell your game there. They just say you can't sell on Steam unless you sell it for the same price as it is on other stores. That's it. You have to set it at the same price, which is actually fair. That actually makes the marketplace better, because it stops you from actually doing anything to sabotage an individual company within the marketplace. It's like trying to run down Nintendo with legal fees. Yeah, it's just dumb. Because chat, they are suing Steam for, I think it's 800 plus million. It's like, I think it's like 650 British pounds. Right? Sorry, God, dear God, that's terrible. 650 million British pounds. For reference, last year, Steam made 9.5 billion. I don't think Steam cares. Like, you're not even denting it. I mean, I guess it is. It's like, it's 10% of their bottom line, right? So that's like, I'm sure they don't want to pay it, but like, this is just dumb. So yeah, they're just gonna sit there and then like I said, I don't think Steam's gonna have very much that they're gonna have to do. I'm not familiar with like, again, British court or anything like that, but I have to assume it's the same sort of you're innocent until proven guilty, and therefore the person suing them has to make the connection that it's actually anti-competitive. And Steam has so much data to the contrary. They can just sit there and be like, no, here's how we acted in this situation. Here's how we acted in this situation. And the crux of all of it is that it's hurting the consumer. And I think in all of it, all of their actions usually are always to help the consumer. So that's what's going to end up shining through. I don't think it's going to do anything. Sentiment bait? Yeah, it really is. You can see it's propaganda. And people are like, oh, well, Steam takes too much of a cut. And I'm like, I understand that people think that Steam makes too much of a cut, but Steam also has the best product on the market for a reason, because they actually invested in it. They actually built it. They made sure it was the best product on the market. And the only thing stopping people from using other marketplaces is that the marketplaces suck. That's really all it boils down to. People don't want to actually use, like, Epic Game Store and stuff, because it just doesn't have the same bells and whistles that Steam does. And that's taking out like activism out of it, where like, for instance, chat, I do not want to ever have to own an Epic Game Store account, because fuck Epic Game Store and the scummy shit that they have done. Like, they tried to actually create exclusivity on the PC market where we had none before. So you want anti-competitive? Exclusivity is anti-competitive. So I don't like that. Steam gives all the back-end work, Steam Labs, Steamworks, and full dev support as part of that cut. Yeah, and I suspect that the other factor at play here is there's probably a bunch of interested parties out there that do not like Steam, because Steam is an open market. Steam, as long as you obey their rules, will let anything get posted really on their platform. And the only rules are like, yeah, dude, there's some level of like depravity that you can't show in a game. Otherwise, we don't care what the content matter is. That's why there's literally like Sex with Hitler 2 on Steam, because who cares? Yeah, some people might find it offensive, but like, don't buy it. That's all it boils down to. Including access to their VAC and Steam API matchmaking. Yep. Steam does so much like server hosting for games. So And I'm sure there's probably costs associated with that, but it's just, it's so much better. Is it a rhythm game though? I have no idea. I know it's a game. I have no idea anything about it because I have not looked at it. I've heard people talk about it though. But yeah, like I said, I've heard I love this. It's the meme that people always post about Gaben, where it's like, what is Gaben's business strategy? What is it called? Where you do nothing and your enemies just keep fucking up. And it's like, yep, I don't know, but it's just called winning, I guess. Like, because that's all he does. Like, they just have Steam. They continue to run Steam. They run it in the best interests of the consumer, usually. And everybody and their brother just gets angry and mad about it. And it's great. It's great to see it. I can't believe this is the first time I'm hearing about this lawsuit. I just heard about it today, to be fair. So, Giga Gaben needs to be an emote if it's not already. You can use Giga Cat in the meantime. The secret is to build a good product oriented to the consumer, sit back and relax afterwards. Yep. If you favor the consumer favors you. And that's the thing. I think they're going to sit there and they're going to be like, well, Steam is a monopoly because it holds this amount of the marketplace. And the reality is the marketplace favors Steam to the point of it becoming a virtual monopoly. Not that Steam has forced it into that. People choose Steam because it's better. That's why. Some people really hate freedom. Yeah. That's why I said, like, the big concern is if they ever do anything to Steam in the way that it's run. That's certainly a concern. But as long as they keep it going, who cares? All right, the chat, I'm going to end for tonight. I know we didn't do Armored Core 6. I honestly just felt kind of tired and just wanted to sit and talk because it's been a long week for me. I'm going to send you guys off somewhere. Let me see who's on. You know what? Let me raid you guys into Chaldea Gurus. He's playing some Guilty Gear. You guys might like that, especially since we were talking about some fighting games earlier. But again, go give Mr. Gurus my love. Tomorrow we have D&D because Sunday is Father's Day. So again, don't forget. Hi. Oh no, okay. It actually stuck around this time. Normally it actually like immediately sends you guys. So again, we have Father's Day Sunday. Don't forget about that. And like I said, so Saturday we'll be running our D&D campaign instead of our normal programming in that regard. So feel free to stop by. We're always welcome to have you. If you're unsure about D&D, come check us out. We can obviously explain all the inner workings of it so that you guys actually understand what's going on. But again, go give Mr. Gurus my love. We'll see you guys for the next one. We'll be doing Survey Monday. Good night.